Was that thunder outside? Spooky in here.
I think it was, mate.
Why is it so dark?
I don't know. Well, black paint usually, but I feel like I'm going to trip over something.
Watch out.
Bloody hell, there's a table there, Wayne.
Yeah, turn the light on.
Where are we, mate?
There's ladies in here.
There's women folk.
What's going on? Oh, they're proper tarts.
This isn't our podcast.
What's happening?
I don't know. Hang on. One of them's got a letter.
Oh.
It says, warning, dangerous content within, explicit and violent content.
Ooh.
Well, we can get on board with that, can't we, mate?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, press play.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen,
I'm Ashley. And I'm Olivia.
and we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode. Yeah.
This is when you start.
We can start with...
Well, it's your show, so we figured we'd wait for you to start it.
We're not used to being in a proper studio.
Sorry, I was...
Who are we and what are we even doing here, Jen?
Hey, I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley. Listeners, if you're confused, Jen and I have not, in fact, been kidnapped.
We haven't.
And taken.
I know
Yes.
you think that's what's going to happen to me, but it isn't.
Yeah, as we've established, if you are not familiar, Jen is in danger
All the
at
time.
any given time. Jen lights up a room, which, as you may or may not know, in a true crime space is incredibly dangerous. She most
You're an arsonist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jen
Secret's out.
Jen lights up a room. Jen also is highly susceptible to a cult, probably
that's
because
how I'm
she's
gonna go.
No one joins a cult. They're always looking for self-improvement and yes, professional development, things to join to better themselves.
All right.
So yeah, Jen, we're looking out for Jen.
Yeah,
and
it's a full-time job for them, really.
truly. But yeah. Who are you again? Remind me.
Well, welcome. Yes, it appears that you have dropped into our studios this week. We are Fish and Brits. I'm Adam.
And I'm Olivia. No, Olivia's not here. And I'm Wayne.
And we are
Fish and Brits.
Very British podcast from very Floridian America. We have someone working on our team. Her name's Ashley, executive producer Ashley. And she contractually obliged us to do this, pretty much.
I think this started via text exchange.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't sign anything.
Well, you never do.
Me neither.
I don't know. I never know what's going on.
Oh, you're the Wayne of the team. Got it. Okay.
That's why we're sitting next to each
it,
other.
that works.
Yeah. Well, the Wayne of our team might actually be
Olivia.
who is sadly not with us today. Olivia was not able to join in person, but listeners, you will be
Oh,
hearing.
that was her ashes just
No, that's Ashes.
Olivia's alive and well.
Okay.
She's good, everybody.
She's fine. She's
fine.
just not here. So
She's very busy with her big girl job.
very
the
busy and
real world.
important. Yes. So we'll be hearing her voice though.
Yeah.
But she's not here in person. So don't worry. Olivia's fine. She's not here. And but as Olivia famously said, there's no I in syphilis.
Yeah.
But goodness knows there's probably gonna be a lot of syphilis in this episode.
Sure is.
Say there's a lot of syphilis in this eye.
We have, but her point was that it is a team sport, and it takes two to achieve syphilis often. And this episode, a lot of syphilis, a lot of sex workers, a lot of murder, a lot of stabbery.
I thought we had the dirty podcast.
No, I was like, hang on a minute.
What we signed on for
I
here.
haven't been a sex worker in years.
Hang on.
There you go. You're going to get a lot of them today.
Oh my gosh. So I think Jen is actually going to kick us off here to give us some historical context, just to set the scene for London in 1888, because, spoiler alert, we will be unpacking Jack the Ripper. And who better to do it with for the floozies than to join the lads of the Fish and Brits podcast.
So to clarify, we're going to start off by giving context on London from the American to the two British people.
That is
Yeah.
it.
Got it. All right.
They always do it.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
They always tell us how it is.
How it is. That's
Yeah.
Well, we'll sit
You're-
back and learn something here, won't we?
Accents rubbish. It
Carry
sounds
on.
like it. What?
Think of it as like a reverse mansplain. We're gonna
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Woman's tree. Herstory.
I'm gonna workshop that.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
So Jen, take it away. Tell us about London in 1888.
I feel the pressure.
How was the weather?
Calling it, well, it was.
Was it raining?
It was raining. It was foggy. It was cold. There was a lot of shit in the street.
Yeah,
Nothing's changed then,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
That's
that's London
pretty
to a
much
T.
it. Yeah.
Fantastic. So London was the capital at the time of the largest empire the world had ever
Still is.
seen.
Still, yeah, yeah.
And
Interrupt.
no, please do.
We're used to that.
Color commentary is always. Oh, I touched something. I can't
I've
hear
pulled
myself
something
anymore.
out.
Adam.
Well, everyone got excited, and this is what
You've
happened.
unplugged yourself already.
Plug myself.
Right, let's talk about him. He can't hear us.
There we are.
What a knob.
What'd I do?
Yeah, one job to do. Look professional.
hear me?
It's you.
I can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Oh, can't hear me at all.
I can't hear me.
Oh, well, that's good.
Oh,
That's producer Dan, by the way.
Hi,
for
Dan.
The Fish and Grits.
Here he
He's
is.
helping us out.
Oh, there we are.
there we
There
go.
Oh, now
he
we can,
is.
now you can hear us.
Ashley
Perfect.
can't hear herself either.
No,
Welcome
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. It was
I
all
believe you said that about Adam.
Well done, Adam. Yes.
me.
It's going very well.
It's going very well. Right. Wait,
Right,
sit
back
back
to
and
London.
listen.
Back to London. So in 1888, the population of London was almost 5 million, out of which 2 million of those lived below the poverty line. So it was not a good time to be living in London.
Rough.
It was infamously, filthy. There was fog. The Thames River was thick with human sewage. And the streets were covered with mud, which is a euphemism for horse shit. And probably human shit.
That's a lot of shit.
It's a lot of it.
Smelled great.
Urine in the streets. I mean, of course.
You're in the
You're in the
streets.
streets.
Well done.
And we're on to the hookers already.
And that's why you're working them.
I love it.
This is a 4-hour podcast, by the
Sure
way.
is.
Tune in for 4 hours of this.
Sure is. And then we're going to go ahead and move into Whitechapel in the East End because that's where our story takes place. British agriculture had been in a depression since the 1870s, and Eastern Europe was being ravaged by famine. So thousands of people fled to London for work, and they packed into the East End because it was the first port of call for migrants seeking a better life. But what they found when they got there was a mass slum where wealthy business people would set up shop and never visit. The poorest members of society wound up there trying to scrape something together. So in the East End at this time, it was home to about 900,000 people. Whew. Around 76,000 lived in Whitechapel in an area of less than 350 acres.
We call that Essex now.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Perfect.
This is dense.
Dense. Dense, not just the
crowded.
fog, the people. Everything was dense.
Dense. This explains why, and Jen, I'm sure you're going to get to this, but why the just to find a bed for the night
Yes.
was fraught, which is will figure in significantly to our details.
Yeah,
of
it
this
absolutely
case.
will. Great segue.
Yeah.
Because we're going to move into living and working conditions.
It's like I set you up.
It's like we've done this before. Dimly lit streets, eerie alleys, oppressive fog, oppressive everything, really. There were no opportunities. People were struggling to make ends meet and resorting to petty theft, prostitution. Poverty was rampant, as I had said before.
Wayne's from Liverpool, so he's quite familiar.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hang on, we talking about London still?
Yeah.
Sounds like, oh.
Okay, all right. So let's see. Children were employed as chimney sweeps. I remember learning this a million years ago. Terrifying.
Just throw your child
Yeah,
up your
go.
chimney. You have a child. You do too, but yours is smaller. Just if you needed the chimney cleaned.
It's very useful.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
stick them up there
Little
with a
hands.
little brush.
We put the flat screen TV up and put him down the wall to pull the cable out the bottom.
Yeah.
Much easier.
See?
Amazing.
Just practicality. Other jobs were mostly self-employed. Listen to that thunder. I love it.
Epic for the episode.
Right? It is. We brought it with us. But a lot of people were self-employed. So you had pie sellers, flour sellers, matchbox fillers, match sellers, sex workers,
Lots of fillers.
lots of fillers, fillers in every aspect.
Oh my God.
Unemployment and the overcrowded living conditions led to crime being committed regularly, including petty theft and drunkenness.
Friday night.
For some, however, crime was the only way to survive. There wasn't anything else for them there. So a lot of people in London believed that there was actually a criminal underclass who lived off of the hardworking people of London. So they stayed out of Whitechapel in the East End. They were like, nah, they're not our people. And it was considered to be the most notorious criminal rookery in London. What is a rookery? A city slum.
I did not know this.
There you go. I learned something yesterday while doing all of this. And they were filled with these lodging houses or doss houses, which is what you were talking about. And this is where the very poor people stayed in overcrowded conditions. There would be as many as 3 people in one apartment, sharing very little space. And at the time, in 1888 in London, in Whitechapel, there were 233 common lodging houses.
Wow.
That's basically filled the whole area.
It's a lot of Airbnbs.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Jen, I heard this, or I read this rather, as I was researching as well, and I think this is actually where we might have gotten the term hangover, was from this era, because
Yes.
if there was not room for a bed, they would string a rope in front of a bench, and you could just hang over the rope to
I've
sleep.
heard that.
Yeah. And that
like-
cost less than an
Yes,
actual bed.
cheaper than laying down fully. Yeah. But there was still, it was a nice.
I think Spirit Airlines is going to do something very similar.
Sounds about
I've seen
right.
that in the news. That's.
That
there
sounds
goes our
about
sponsorship with Spirit Airlines.
Right. Yeah. We were waiting for that.
I'll
to
give you
pull through.
$10 instead.
Brutal. So yeah, Jen. So this sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tell us a little bit more about the Dawes houses, though.
Yeah.
Like, what did this cost, and or like how did you actually how did you get a spot if there was one to be had at all?
Well, a lot of people were working literally a day or two ahead just to pay for one night in one of the Dawes houses.
so you couldn't live there.
You couldn't live there.
Okay.
No, you couldn't live there. There were also workhouses if you couldn't afford a bed at a Doss house, but they had very strict rules when you had to get up, when you had to go to bed, what you were working when you were in there, and they would separate families. So children would be over here, men. It was a horrible place to be. Yeah. And they were just places of just constant hunger and poor sanitation, frequent illness. It was horrible.
This is
It was
why
the Wendy's.
that's why everyone was like dead by 40. Because,
Correct.
Yeah.
We're doing real well, you know?
Man. So this sounds like I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of danger and just general crime in the area. So what was the enforcement of crime like, or like policing, if that was even attempted?
Well, it wasn't really good. I would definitely be in danger. But police themselves were actually afraid of this area of London, so they didn't want to go in.
Didn't even try?
They didn't even really try. So here are some of the difficulties of policing in Whitechapel. First of all, the unemployment and poverty made it an area where so much crime took place. It was like kind of hard to keep up on it.
Whack-a-mole.
Basically. The densely packed rookeries and the dark, unlit alleyways and yards made all of the policing difficult for the ones that were brave enough to go there.
You can't see anything.
You can't see anything. And the criminals could watch for victims and then quickly hide after committing crimes, which will definitely come into play.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Basically, running around with a
Whitechapel.
chainsaw. Yeah.
That's
You know?
convenience, really.
Yeah, for the criminals it is, you know? Alcohol really, it caused people to become more vulnerable, also more violent, and then witnesses were completely unreliable because they were all
Useless.
trash.
Bloody useless.
They're British.
Completely. There were a lot of well-organized gangs in Whitechapel, so that was an issue. Immigration, the presence of immigrants in Whitechapel also caused a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension and a lot of anti-Semitism at the time as well. And then we're going to get into the big one, prostitution. You're welcome. That's what you guys were waiting for. I know.
Yeah, I was really lying there for you. It scared the crap out of me.
Not the appropriate reaction.
Right, we're back to Halloween Horror Nights.
Wait, which side are we on? Okay.
We're on the side of prostitution? Was that the way to say it?
Not to criminalize sex work.
Okay.
No, but also maybe make other opportunities available for people
women.
so they don't need to resort to that.
Maybe
if
do some
they're not
eBaying, some
wanting to do
crafting.
that.
Yeah, there wasn't really any jobs. So
So they did the other
Yes.
jobs.
Other jobs.
Yeah.
And it actually
Juggling.
wasn't a crime at the time. Sex work wasn't a crime, soliciting was.
Wait, I don't understand.
So if you got caught like on the street actually soliciting someone,
Yeah, I couldn't go, do you want a bit, mate? That's a $5.
like,
I'm in trouble.
This wasn't-
Her,
no, I'm fine.
no problem.
Yeah,
What was that?
Exactly.
that bit that you just did.
That had not. That
Got
was
it,
weird.
okay.
No.
I'm not soliciting that. The act was not the crime.
Correct.
But me going, do you want the... Then...
Then that's it. He's in.
Right. He's in.
They're taking him away.
Oh, no, you got it. Okay.
I'm in trouble. I'm now the pimp.
Yes.
Goodness.
Pimp's not allowed.
Right.
Hookers, absolutely.
Correct.
So, Jen, this was unlike our recent episode with the Broadway Butterfly in the 30s, where just making eye contact with a man on the street
Was
could get you
dangerous.
arrested
Yes.
because clearly this was you were trying to like lure him with your ankles
Correct.
or something.
Mm. Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
That's why I
So-
put my ankle boots on.
Is that what? Don't lure us.
It's very distracting, Adam.
What the hell are those shoes? Sorry, parenting. ADHD as well.
It's all right. Same. But this work obviously made women vulnerable to crimes such as violent attacks and rape.
Yeah.
It still is. It still very much is. Yeah. It was not stable or safe work. It also led some women to engage in other petty crimes such as theft. So all of that's going on. There was no available contraception. So the dangerous backstreet abortions became very common in the time, and the women often died from surgical shock or infection.
Aren't you proud our filter came in and we didn't make any jokes in that last 15 seconds?
My brain was gone.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Casino machine.
I'm talking to you across my head. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's like the self-editing is
Yeah.
really strong
Well
right
done.
now.
Well
Good
done.
job. Good job. No, and Jen, also this is stating the obvious, but like this
Yeah.
isn't like we should wash our hands before we do surgery. Like this is not a consideration.
Well,
Like,
and water was so
right. That's why
it
they're
wasn't
drinking
clean
so much
and- yeah,
alcohol.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's no water to drink.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a paper cut, and this is how you die back then.
Basically.
Like, yeah. That's the end of you.
But the Victorians, as we said, they really tended to look at the people in Whitechapel in the East End. They looked down on them. I mean, and the sex workers even more so. So they weren't sympathetic at all towards them. So the police didn't aid them if they said, hey, this happened, or that they just,
Too bad.
yep. Ugh. Kind of still like today.
It's like the second scene of Les Mis.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, got it.
Yes.
That's it. Why didn't we just sing the songs?
Yes.
I dreamed a dream.
Perfect.
Lovely ladies.
Yeah, that's it right
My
there.
accent. I know.
Context.
I think actually to historical context, Les Mis is 1840s, but this, I think the Gilded Age, if anyone is watching the Gilded Age, is 1882. It's in New York. It's not in the
Right.
UK, but just to have a sense of the juxtaposition there. It's like we
Yeah.
have Bertha Russell, and then we have this situation happening in the
Exactly.
same decade. Yeah.
Exactly. And there were brothels. There were women literally just walking the streets and soliciting, or pimps soliciting for them. But there were 62 brothels, I think they said. And
Blimey.
in Whitechapel. Wow. That's a lot of brothels. In 350
One in every corner.
acres. I mean,
Starbucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because really, if these
I'll have the
women...
venti with extra foam.
Deeply upsetting.
It is. Well, and if these women didn't resort to sex work, they would starve. I mean, it kind of came down to that in a lot
truly
of
a
aspects.
Fontaine. Yeah, it's like these are the choices. Yeah, and again, if you don't have a money to sleep on a bench, let alone in a bed
or a string.
right, then you had to
Over
do
the
what
bench.
they called sleeping rough, which just meant outside, like just hole up in that alley and hope no one comes along and does anything,
does
to you
anything
while
to
you're
you.
sleeping. Also cold.
So might as well make a bit of money about it. Then, right?
Might as well. Might as well, I guess. Yeah. Wow.
They-
Okay.
Then you got a police.
Exactly. Exactly. The London police reported that there were approximately 8,600 prostitutes known to them at the time. However, it has been suggested that the true number of women prostituting during this time was closer to 80,000.
What?
In London?
In London. Wait, in
In
Whitechapel? That's like Epcot.
Mate, there's a thing on every corner.
What is
Yeah.
what is the capacity daily of like Disney World?
I don't
Well,
know.
Epcot's in
Too
the
many.
80,000s.
So imagine an Epcot
Yeah.
full of sex workers.
Yeah.
Right.
Just trying to make enough money for a bed for the night.
I've done that, I think.
Have they brought the college program back?
Hey now. That is no, it's true. That's exactly what
Right,
it
this
was.
isn't our podcast. We can talk
No, we
about
can't. We can get them cancelled. We're fine. It's going under their branding.
This is a lot. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still think this was a good idea?
Wow.
No, this is great. Yes.
Yeah.
It's giving a new flavor.
It is, right?
So Jen,
80,000 new flavors.
So Jen, the police
Yeah.
are like, it's dark and scary
Yeah,
over there.
we don't
I don't
know."
want to. Was anything done about anything at all, or are they just like knock yourselves out?
They
Like,
did the bare minimum. So if there was a house, maybe that they were like, hey, that's one of the 62 brothels. People, if they thought somebody in the area thought this was a brothel, they could report it to the vestry. The vestry is like a church organization.
Oh.
That sometimes was the only governing body of a place. And then the
Okay.
vestry could report it to the police. When Sir Charles Warren became Metropolitan Police Commissioner in 1886, he decided that since watching the brothels wasn't part of their job, they weren't going to do it anymore.
Okay. Also, probably again, just whack-a-mole, just pointless, because it's like this is so widespread. What is even the point? They're just going to move to another Starbucks.
Yeah. They
And
bas-
is it fair to assume that the police officers also like to venti macchiato?
I would venture to assume
All right.
yes.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I'm on break for 20.
I'll go and have a pink drink.
I mean, they're on every corner, so
Yeah.
yeah, might as well.
They had their
It's not Dunkin' Donuts.
Working the beat.
That's
donkeys.
But the constables, they really believed it was safer to ignore the prostitutes than to attempt to repress them.
Huh.
Because
Like
they,
this.
yeah, I'm
Don't
not
see
looking,
'em.
I'm not looking, I'm not looking.
Don't look.
Need to see.
So they wouldn't arrest a prostitute unless they were absolutely compelled to do so, because they could lose their reputation and their career prospects, because it was so hard to prove that they were soliciting, and it was
Sure.
hard to prove that they were actually prostitutes.
Doing anything. Yeah. You're a woman existing here on the street.
Correct. And you looked at me, so
And that's where hello, what's going on here then came from.
you were there, were you?
yeah.
Yeah, just read it on this piece of paper.
Oh, you read it on the.
I mean, I'm 15 sheets behind every. I don't know what's going on.
Wayne's just
I'm just making it look like I'm reading these pages.
He wants to
There's
hear
words
that.
and I'm like, I don't know that section. What's that section?
This is a new thing for us. We are horrendously more prepared for this one.
Wayne is
than
here
our
for the
one.
buggy ride. This is
Go.
The what? Oh, there you go.
There it is. Nice. We're on those cobblestone shit-soaked streets, you know?
Have I told you we do our own Foley?
So there's this interesting case in 1887 where there was a milliner by the name of Elizabeth Cass who they arrested and charged her with soliciting. And she was like, I was just on my way to buy a pair of gloves.
I was just a lady existing. And also, it sounds like maybe she was a woman in business, which
She was.
How dare she?
A milliner, yes. So she found another way to make money that was not prostitution. How dare she? You know?
With a last name like C.S. What do you want?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Making a bonnet. Let me live.
Let me live my life. The magistrate actually said to her that no respectable woman should be walking on Regent Street after 9 p.m. So that was basically the reason she was
That's still
arrested.
true today.
Is it still true? Like, good to know. And nothing has changed.
Wow.
So after this happened, there was a direct order that prohibited officers from arresting streetwalkers unless a direct complaint had been made or there was corroborating evidence. So the direct result of that order was that police just stopped arresting them between 1887 and 1889. So
Doing nothing.
doing nothing.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Huh?
Yeah. So basically, by 1888, when our story takes place, the prostitutes were kind of emboldened by
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, just
It is
we're
what it
gonna,
is.
It is what
It is what it is, isn't
And
it?
they were everywhere because nobody was going to stop them. So it made it even worse.
This feels like it might have been actually like bad for business. Like sort of like there's like too many.
Now there's too many.
It's like an MLM when there's like too many women in your neighborhood like selling LuLaRoe leggings and you're just like selling to each other. It's like there's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
The pyramid's gotten too wide at the bottom, you know?
and no one is doing well because there's too many of you. Yeah.
A lot of fish in the pond, if you might
You
say.
will.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jen, for giving us some context of what we're walking into here thematically. Adam,
Yes.
I think this is your time to shine.
Oh, we're gonna splice the two podcasts together a little bit.
I mean, we thought it only fitting that it was like, well, we're going to be with the Brits. So, I mean, we usually just have wine. And yeah, that's
I
ours.
usually have
well, well.
pre-beverages.
All right. Well,
yes, but
we come with sound effects. It's time for some 11s. See, there they are.
There it is.
Now,
I feel like a mayor.
here's the important thing. This is the sound. What is that coming from?
it's
No, don't you know? You
cheating.
went to the live show. You're our bloody executive producer. You know
know
the
what it
answer
is.
to this. Big Ben. What is
That's what
Big Ben?
I was gonna say. Big Ben. It's
What
the
is Big
clock.
Ben?
It's not a clock. Oh, tell me everything.
Ashley
Big Ben is.
So Big Ben is the bell.
is the bell, not the
Not the clock itself.
The Elizabeth
it's
Tower.
Elizabeth Tower.
Yes, there you go. Someone's been
See, I'm not the only one that thought that, and I'm from England.
listening. Right.
And he rode me first season every time. What is Big Ben?
I didn't ride you in the
The
first
bell.
season.
You're right, that was the mid-second season.
Now, so for 11s, we usually bring something a little bit British, a little bit on theme. And so I said to Ashley, you know what would be good? It's the Victorian era, Whitechapel pubs. I've got a nice bottle of Highclere gin from the set of Downton Abbey.
Wait a minute.
And then I was swiftly told, no, you two can't handle your gin.
Oh, thank God. I just panicked then. Hang on. Because I've got to read something.
We'll save that for another. We'll save that for one of our shows.
This will be a very short podcast.
On the floor.
Unconscious. Yes.
So,
Maybe when we're not recording.
as this is about the ex workers, I brought along my rabbit with me.
What's one of them?
What's one of them? I don't
Listeners,
know.
it's a wine opener.
It is a wine opener.
You're not watching the video.
Would you pass these round?
Of course.
I forgot the microphone was on my throat.
Here we
There
are.
you are.
Yeah.
Is it wine?
You come with your own.
I'm guessing.
I don't drink
think.
wine.
This. Here we have
Give Wayne some gin.
19 crimes. I'm sure you've had 19 crimes on the show before because
Yeah.
branding. But
Lovely.
this is the Halloween Frankenstein edition.
Outstanding.
As we are doing the Halloween crossover special edition, I thought we would go with this.
I love it.
So I'm going to not on the one. I'm going to get me.
Can I just
This
have my
rabbit.
water? Huh? Can I just have my water?
You'll be all right. I'm just using my rabbit ears. Look at that.
Wow.
Wasn't that good?
That was impressive.
swift.
I'm gonna need that rabbit.
That was swift.
It'd have taken 20 minutes with yours.
Change the battery. Wayne, if you want to be the first one, send your glass over.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Wayne is heavily opposed to wine, so you've got an October.
Heavily opposed.
Wayne, you classy bitch.
I love
I will
it.
go the farthest first. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon from the Frankenstein region of California,
Frankenstein region.
in plastic. You're all welcome.
I know, I gave it the cling, it was like thunk, thunk.
Because on our show, we're droppers. So we have a lot of plastic things.
Yeah.
We've flung some things from time
We
to time.
have.
Yeah. So there we go.
Tables, you know.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us on.
You.
Thank you for joining. This is
Shall I smell my beer?
Smell your beer.
So I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's red.
that is
Yeah, that's October.
I like that Frankenstein region of
October.
California.
Frankenstein region
That's
of
really
California.
nice. Yeah.
Firm and full with rich mouthfeel. Again, it goes with the
On brand.
topic.
We're on brand.
Aromatics of dark berries, violets. I'm sure someone was called Violet.
Sure.
And vanilla.
And berries.
There you go. Frankenstein wasn't a monster. He was just upset people didn't want to hang out.
See?
There you go. I mean, that's like
But-
the hookers,
Like,
really, isn't it?
really?
as we know, Frankenstein is not the monster.
Yes.
Frankenstein
Yes.
is the science.
I don't think we argue it when it's providing alcohol.
Adam, that is a lovely selection.
It is a
Thank
lovely-
you.
yeah.
Oh, hang
Thank
on.
you.
I got
Well
that
done.
in the-
The Cabernet. We're having spillage already.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the Sam Adams. I think that works.
Look at that. I'm just going to put my coaster.
placement.
A fish and brick coaster.
A fish and brick
that.
coaster. There
Lovely.
you go. We'll put those
Oh,
out.
thank you. Thank you.
You want branding. Just
Right on Ashley's face.
Who even designed this?
Oh, some beer, some tart.
Some tart.
oh, you want to chuck you one? There you are.
I love it.
I think he meant beer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Well, Shall
You
we?
wait till our recording later.
Oh, wait, there's more. I better take it easy.
Yeah, you should.
Shall we get into the crime?
Let's do it. What is
I'm
the crime?
ready.
Speaking of 19 crimes, there's actually there are more crimes here than I thought. So this is interesting. The Whitechapel murder victims versus the Canonical Five. What, if anything, do you know about the Canonical Five?
The canonical five. Hello.
Bloody hell, one sip.
Yeah, it's really
The amount of painkillers I'm on today. This is. I took my hydrocodone.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Are the canonical five the ones that were in the film with Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the five
Done.
victims, right? They're
But
the five.
but that's not why they're
Oh.
the Canonical Five. So
Oh, they got big cannons.
absolutely not.
Got it. Sorry.
It's just the court.
No, have you not seen the
like-
pictures?
So this is one of those things where it's like all serial killers are sociopaths, but not all sociopaths are serial killers.
Right.
Okay.
That we know of.
So the Whitechapel murders were a series of murders that were committed in or near the Whitechapel district that Jen just unpacked for us, which was great.
So lovely.
So safe and picturesque. The white
piss.
lots of piss and just dirt in the street.
And 62 brothels.
62 brothels. So this was all within the impoverished Whitechapel district near the east end of London, and they took place specifically between April 3rd of 1888 and February 13th of 1891. So
Okay.
pretty tightly packed. And at some point,
It's a rough Valentine's Day.
I know, right? It was like how
Couple
rude.
of them. Yeah.
So at various points, some or all of these 11 unsolved murders, they were all women. They were all ascribed to the unidentified serial killer known as Jack the Ripper. The Canonical Five are ones we're going to look at. We're going to go through everyone broadly, all of the 11, but we're going to really give special attention to the Canonical Five. They are attributed to Jack the Ripper because, spoiler alert, they all had the same MO.
Okay.
The other ones vary. So it's like
Okay.
these are all women. Most of them were sex workers. So it's like we have these 11 murders, and at the same time, these 5 have the same kind of signature. Also, these some of these 5 were suspects potentially wrote letters or
Right.
like little notes to the police.
Is it
or
the difference between like planned and opportunistic?
a little bit. I would argue that most of these are probably opportunistic.
Okay.
I think these murders all, and certainly the Canonical Five, fall into the category of I wanted to do harm. I wasn't particularly choosy about who.
Okay.
Only because very few of these people have any suspects that are tied to them on any sort of personal level.
Okay.
Like it's not like, oh, this one woman's husband was a suspect.
Right.
No,
That's interesting. And I think my whole life I was like, well, he targeted sex workers. But now I believe that that's just mostly who was in Whitechapel at the time.
Yeah, an easy target.
Yeah.
Frankly. Yeah. So if you're looking to do harm
Yeah.
and you're looking to, we'll get into motive later. But if you are just like looking to cause panic and frankly scare people,
Yeah.
that's an easy target because
Yeah.
like we talked about, like they're on the street, it's dark.
Yeah.
They might be sleeping outside. They're certainly working outside. The police are not checking on the situation at all.
And that's interesting too, because it's going to cause panic in that area, but not necessarily the rest of London.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about them.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not like they're actively patrolling because they're like, I don't know, that alley looks scary and it smells
not
bad. I'm
going in."
going to stay over here.
Right.
Yep. So the victims, in order, I am going to read through the list of victims and also the MO. So just strap in. So the first victim was Emma Elizabeth Smith. She was actually sexually assaulted and robbed by a gang. So
Gangs.
probably not Jack the Ripper because a lot of people were involved with that one. Martha Tabram was stabbed 39 times.
Bit excessive.
A bit excessive.
Knife slipped.
Hey.
It's a little. Marianne, aka Polly Nichols, she is the first of the Canonical Five.
Okay. Yeah.
Polly Nichols had her throat slashed ear to ear. So yeah, pretty intense. Annie Chapman,
I've
second
never
of
understood that.
ear to ear.
Yeah, because you don't go up to your ear, do you?
You don't, but it is. I
Yeah,
heard
but
this.
your carotid artery runs along here and here.
Yeah,
Is that it?
I think this was on Mindhunter and Edmund Kemper, who is an American serial killer, talked about this. The character did. And he says, ear to ear, it's not an expression, it's an instruction. Because if you do not cut from ear to ear, you'll just be in pain and you're just going to slowly bleed out. You won't die quickly. You're not going to get the carotid artery. You're not going to get the windpipe. You need to actually cut ear to ear to achieve death.
I'm a little bit disturbed about how easily you brought that evidence out.
Listen.
Oh, wait till I get started.
Go on this.
Listen.
Why do you know this? we had
You live in the nice part of
histories
Orlando.
are not
Yeah.
good.
we had way more horrifying medical evidence from me in the Black Dahlia.
in the Black Dahlia episode.
Two-parter.
I mean, plus going from all the way across, you're cutting the windpipe and you're also cutting the vocal cords, so there's no way to scream out.
screaming.
Sure can't wane. Very good insight there. Yep, absolutely. Which is, no, that is important though for this case because a lot of these instances, like an eyewitness or people nearby, they're like, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, because there were so many people packed in. He just did it while somebody else was walking right down the street.
Yeah. So Annie Chapman, second of the Canonical Five, had her throat cut as well. Elizabeth Stride was the third of the Canonical Five and part of what is called the double event, which was he killed two women on the same night.
Right.
And she also had her throat cut. Catherine Eddowes, second part of the double event, throat cut. Mary Jane Kelly was the last of the Canonical Five, and she had her throat cut and had, I will say, an astonishing level of mutilation over her entire body. The only part of her that was not disfigured was literally her eyes.
Yeah.
So just...
Yeah,
And that's
pretty
Heather
gruesome.
Graham in the film, isn't
I
it?
was just going to say that. That's Heather Graham, yeah.
That's my concept.
Was that film your research? Was that film?
It's so...
It's great.
So very,
It's historically inaccurate, but it's delightful.
Yeah, exactly. Rose Milet was the next victim. She was strangled. Alice Mackenzie had her throat slashed, but it was just at the side. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the ear to ear. It was sort of slashed on one side or stabbed on one side. But they also could tell it was also a much smaller knife because they're it's just a little guy. But she still perished.
Sure.
There was an unidentified woman.
Sounds like college. It's a little guy, but he's still perished.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Are you done? Thank you, Adam. There was an unidentified woman with no clear cause of death because, she was dismembered and they only found her torso.
Oh.
So we don't know. We don't.
He didn't learn that thing that you learned with the Black Dahlia about how to actually dismember the torso.
If you actually get between a certain vertebrae, you can totally do it.
cut it in half.
It's a thing, but it's really hard and you kind of have to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have
that medical
they couldn't Google
knowledge
it.
yet.
Back then, hadn't pioneered that surgery.
Chat GPT it.
No,
not
and
yet.
so finally we had Frances Coles was the last victim of the Whitechapel murders. Also had her throat cut. So we're going to get into the Canonical Five specifically. So Marianne Polly Nichols, she was murdered on Friday, the 31st of August. She was murdered in Bucks Row, which is a back street in Whitechapel. Her body was discovered by a cart driver at 3:45 a.m. on the ground in front of a gated stable entrance. So he's like, I'm going to turn my horse and cart in here. Oh, shoot, there's a lady.
Bump.
Her throat hit... No.
Oh, that's that. I've run over a lady.
Terrible. They didn't say that didn't happen, Wayne, but
I just put myself in the situation, that's all.
he didn't say it did. Wayne is doing an
The
immersive,
magic if.
an immersive,
there.
imaginative performance by Wayne. Her throat had actually been slit twice from left to right. And then her abdomen was mutilated by a jagged wound. So it was almost like a
It's probably Wayne running over her in the car.
Bump.
yeah, pretty
Wooden wheels.
Yeah.
Well, no tires.
yeah,
splinters.
pretty gnarly though. They could tell it was an incision, and there were actually 3 or 4. There was multiple cuts by the same knife, but it was there was this one big jagged wound, and it looked almost like they had tried to go in and remove organs potentially, but she had
Yeah, I
this.
saw a thing where it said that it wasn't like a scalpel cut. I always thought all these cuts and I always thought they were precision cuts, but they weren't.
No.
They progressively got worse. But this one was he was just
It's like a bread knife.
hacking in to get in there.
It was like a Michael Myers
Yeah,
situation. Yeah.
Well, and because some of the suspects, and I know we'll get into this, some of them were doctors.
Yes.
So, but a jagged cut wouldn't
Yep.
Show that.
So this is funny, Jen. So on the day that this happened, this was again like the third of the Whitechapel murders, but the first one that we're unpacking because it's part of the canonical five. The head of the local police detectives, James Monroe, resigned as the head of the criminal investigation department because he was basically in a pissing match with the chief commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Sir Charles Warren.
Yeah, because they had two different police departments that were working it. Yeah,
Sure did. Working, or we'll say not working.
working it.
We're not going to talk.
Showing up.
It's like when the FBI shows up on Law and Order.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly right, Adam. There's a lot of, we're not going to talk too much about the police specifically or the investigators, because everything I found, I was like, we could get into this, but it doesn't really matter because it is a lot of jurisdictional bickering and a lot of like, I am the higher ranking person, or you offended me, or I'm going to bring in my special like doctor to investigate. No, I'm going to bring in my mortician friend. Like just, I think we would say they shat the bed when it
Just muddle it all up. Misinformation.
Investigation.
It's nice to know nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, oh, and not that maybe things would have gone any differently had that not been a factor, but just broadly up front, the police incompetence, we'll say, was a huge problem. They didn't have the forensics certainly that we do today. Like, DNA was not on the table. They weren't even really.
They couldn't even spell it.
No, not even taking fingerprints, really.
No, they had witnesses, basically.
Right. They're like,
that was it.
We might have saw someone who saw something, maybe, and then they argued about that too. So initial investigations into these murders had little success. There were elements like the press was starting to catch on. They're like, hey, we've noticed a few of these in kind of quick succession. We keep finding these dead women. Like, is somebody like maybe going to look at that? Like the press was actually applying pressure to the investigation before the police were. But this was the first one where the press was like, okay, this lady was like low key disemboweled almost. Like maybe.
It's not a slip and fall case.
No, no. And not just like, oh, how did she die? Because again, like, in like post-mortem investigation, it wasn't terribly advanced. So if it wasn't super obvious how you died, I'd be like, I don't know, she's just dead. Like a lot of people were
just dead.
Just dead on the street.
Because they cut their finger in infection. Goodbye.
Precisely. So when you find someone who's like a little bit disemboweled, it's like, oh, that's new. That's different.
A little bit. Just a little disemboweled.
Just a bit.
That's
Heads
the
almost
syphilis again.
Yeah.
Bloody sex workers.
So the Star newspaper was actually the first one to suggest that a
That's
single.
still running, by the way.
The Star is? Oh, well,
there you
It's
go.
a dirty tabloid little rag with boobs on page 3 now.
Well,
I bet
So the same reporting.
They weren't better here, but they were the first to suggest that it might be a single killer responsible, and then other newspapers took up that same storyline.
Is Jack the Ripper the first time they called it a serial killer?
So we did not call at the time they didn't use that term, but Jack the Ripper is considered the first documented serial killer.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely, Jen. So suspicions of a serial killer didn't call it that, but suspicions of a serial killer at large in London, it led to this assignment of the detective inspector Frederick Aberline. So he was with Scotland Yard. So his name might crop up, with some of these other people. So if we're talking about Aberline, it's this guy, and this was when he got assigned because they're like, we should look into this. This is bad.
So let me ask you Brits a question. What's the difference between Scotland Yard and like the Metropolitan Police?
It's like FBI.
I was just going to say, was it like FBI?
They're the big
They're the
wigs.
big wigs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scotland Yard's like, whoa, it's bad if they're showing up.
Scotland Yard is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's in,
Metropolitan's located
Right,
center.
in-
It'd be like the New York City right in the middle. Yeah,
Okay.
so
That
what's
makes
like
sense.
MI5?
totally different.
That's like the spy.
That's a whole
Like
branch.
Yeah,
That's like
CIA.
Nothing
and
to do
stuff,
with Scotland Yard.
No. MI5
James
and
Bond.
MI6. MI5 is domestic. MI6 is international.
All right, so bringing James Bond into it.
MI7 we don't talk about.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Oh, wow. Based on the available evidence, which was not much, it was concluded that Nichols was murdered just after 3 a.m. on the spot she was found. They're like, this is it. This is where everything happened. She wasn't moved. Investigators initially dismissed the possibility that her murder was connected to Smith and Tabram, the other two we mentioned, because the weapon was different, the MO was different, and neither of those two, their throats weren't slashed. One was strangled, one was like accosted by a gang. They actually had assaulted her and she didn't die right away. Like she died later from infection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Inconvenient.
How long was the time in between those?
Oh man.
sorry.
So no, you're fine. I have dates. So Emma
knew you
Elizabeth
did.
Smith was Tuesday, April 3rd.
Okay.
Martha Tabram was Tuesday, August 7th. So
Okay.
big gap. But then
but a Tuesday.
yeah, but then jumping same month, Friday,
Yeah.
31st of August was Polly Nichols.
Okay.
So they were like, hey,
Same month.
yeah, we've had a few of these now, and now we have 2 in 1 month.
All right, hear me out.
Yes.
I may have solved it.
Already?
August 31st. It was someone getting ready to go back to Hogwarts the next day. They were in London. I've got my cauldron.
Yeah.
I need some weird ingredients. Tarts insides.
Is Tom Riddle Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, Voldemort is Jack the Ripper's.
He who shall not be named.
See you guys. Did we solve
Good night.
Stay solved. Fill her up. We're
my
done.
God. No, we're not done. We have so much more.
Oh, okay.
Put it back in. Put
I'm
it back
sorry.
in. It's,
Pour it back. So, effectively, a week later, we have Annie Chapman. Was Saturday, the 8th of September. The mutilated body of a fourth woman was discovered about 6 a.m. on the ground near a back doorway in the yard of 29 Hanbury Street in Spitalfields.
Spitalfields.
So, Spitalfields, which sounds
like that.
very fun and cute.
Hen spit, back alley. There's a thief.
Is this theme. Chapman had left her lodgings at 2 a.m. on the day she was murdered. She told people she had the intention of like, hey, I'm going to go find someone to do sex work with so I can pay my rent, get a bed and a doss house for the night. I don't have the monies. Her throat was again slashed from left to
Well,
right.
that's the blonde from Hell.
There you go.
Yes,
Very.
yes.
Adam is putting things together with this
I am.
Johnny
I
Depp
am.
movie. We're going to talk about From Hell, by the way, because it is
Yes.
wild.
Okay, I'm excited.
You were not ready.
It's one of
Adam.
my favorite films.
Oh, you're not
I've
ready.
never
at
seen
all.
it.
Have you not? No. Oh, we're watching it later.
So she was also disemboweled, but her intestines had actually been taken out of her abdomen and were thrown over each shoulder. So they're like, some organs over the shoulder.
over her shoulder, like the Continental Soldier.
Right, exactly. So a morgue examination later revealed that part of her uterus was missing.
Yep.
They're like, interesting detail. Why would you take this? And the pathologist was of the opinion that the murderer must have possessed anatomical knowledge because they figured he had sliced out these reproductive organs in a single movement.
Oh.
So this is where the whole like surgical rumors come
Okay.
in, because I was listening to a different podcast about this. They unpacked Jack the Ripper in 5 parts. So
Oh my
it was
God.
like, 9 hours.
He unpacked her in 3.
Yeah, precisely, Adam. But that was the thing, because they said one of these podcast hosts, this is from the Morbid podcast, she actually is, I think, a mortician, one of the hosts. And so she says, when you...
Is that the one with the glasses?
Maybe.
Lauren the mortician?
Nope, different.
Oh, okay.
Different person. So they said, like, if lay people like you and I, most of us have never like performed surgery or like, opened someone up.
I
They
have
said,
not.
It doesn't,
Speak for yourself.
they said, it doesn't look like what you think in there. Like if you just were to open up someone's like torso, it's not like, oh yeah, there's the uterus, there's the stomach. This,
Right.
It's all kind of flesh colored. It's all kind of bloody. There's not a nice little diagram like, oh, this is a kidney. This is a whatever. Like,
There aren't labels on it?
no, it's not.
Bullshit.
And it's not all organized. It's just like,
It's like on top of each other.
So they said the fact that someone knew that like that's the
Where to
uterus,
go.
and that also could like get it cleanly out. Like this wasn't someone who was just like stabby, stabby, stabby. Oh, take that while I'm here. It was very we'll say neat for for as violent as this was. Like the surgery part of it was
Now, is this when they thought the surgeon guy was possibly the Ripper?
possibly yes.
Yeah.
So there was
He's the guy with the jars full of them.
yeah. There's a couple different suspects who were like this person could have.
You're
medical-
doing research.
Wayne is like
Why couldn't you do that for our show?
coming
You don't let
on
me.
it.
True.
So, ironically, the idea that the murderer had surgical skills was dismissed by some of the experts at the time. The bodies were not examined extensively at the scene, and it had also been suggested that the organs were maybe removed by mortuary staff, and they took advantage of the bodies that were already open to extract organs that they could sell as surgical specimens.
Yes.
So
Black market.
yeah, again, and that was all like rumor and speculation. It was like, well, the mortician could have just sold the thing, but it was like, I don't know, part of a uterus? Like that feels weird.
Yeah, why just part of it?
Half price.
So on the 10th of September, the police arrested a notorious local called John Pizer. We'll get into him later.
Okay.
But he had the nickname Leather Apron, and he had a reputation for terrorizing local sex workers. His
damn it.
alibis for the other previous two murders had been corroborated, so they released him because
Oh, there he is.
And his spirit is here.
He's here now. Come on in, John.
It was me.
significant thunderclap there. So they were like, this
And
was
we're back to the clap.
Yeah, back to the clap. This was still early days, so they're like, well, I don't know, like, you know, he didn't seem to be responsible for the other murders. We'll let him go. It's probably
What was that leather apron made out of?
Leather.
I'm just saying, like Ed Gein.
Oh, yeah. The skin of one of the victims.
That's what I'm
would be-
saying.
Half a uterus could be a useful pocket.
Yeah.
a little,
Just
a
pop it
pen
right
holder.
in
There's a
there.
pen holder there.
little guy. Yep. There was an eyewitness, Mrs. Elizabeth Long, testified that she had seen Chapman talking to
That's a weird name, Mrs. Long testified.
No.
Sorry, carry on.
That saves man.
No. She saw him talking. She saw her talking to a man around 5 a.m. Just beyond this yard where she was found 30 minutes
Speaking
later.
to a man.
I know she was talking to a man. She was-
Well,
How dare she?
obviously,
That is a crime in this town.
Call the church elders.
yeah.
It's all the vestry.
So somewhere in this 30-minute window, she was murdered in this same area where she was last seen. So it's like, all right, we're narrowing it down. Mrs. Long described the man as being over 40, a little taller than Chapman, of dark complexion, with a foreign, quote, shabby, genteel appearance. He was wearing, are you ready, a brown deerstalker hat and a dark overcoat. So
Oh, it's Sherlock Holmes.
I was just gonna say Sherlock Holmes, right?
Robert Downey Jr. did it.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
I know.
It's like-
Which one?
Terrible.
Benedict.
Another witness, a carpenter, had entered the neighborhood from the opposite side of the street, and he heard, he was like basically one door down, and he was coming the other way. Near the same time, he heard voices in the yard, followed by the sound of something or someone falling and hitting a fence. So he was in the air at the same time. He's coming the other way. He goes into the building next door, and then hears like a thud, like a kunk, and then he's like, huh, weird. But again, it's Whitechapel.
What was that noise again?
Kunk.
Well done.
There was a body hitting the door.
Yeah.
Bodies hitting the ground.
By Benedict
Bodies
Cumberbatch.
hit the floor.
So finally, a German hairdresser named Charles Ludwig was also taken into custody on the 18th of September under suspicion of the murders, but was also released less than 2 weeks later when the double event happened and the real culprit was still at large. So they were like, okay, not you. We had you in custody.
They think he did it with his like thinning shears or something.
I don't know. They were just like, we don't. Well, it was also Jen. It was like, you are a foreigner, so
Right? No,
clearly
because it was a thing. The
you
immigrants. Yep.
cannot be trusted. Yeah, a lot
If
of
you're familiar with Nigel Farage currently in the UK.
So a lot of we'll say just surprising but not surprising, just like how racism and anti-Semitism I think was probably a big distraction in this case.
Very much so. Yeah.
Because as we're going to get into a lot of the suspects in a little bit here, this was almost certainly a white man, probably. Yeah. And it's like we talk about the idea of like, you know, like serial killers are like monsters. And this was, not to digress too much, but this was why Ted Bundy was so successful because he looked so normal. Yep. He was just a
And he was
guy.
charming.
And some people said, yeah, he was even like good looking and he was affable and he could just sort of function. And I think a lot of the contemporary thought about Jack the Ripper is he wasn't this like crazed lunatic, like running around covered in blood. It's like he probably was like a contributing member of society and just a guy and looked pretty normal, which
I'd
is
be a
why
goner.
which is why Jen is in danger.
He just wanted to let off some steam. Come on now.
He was like, I'm stressed at work. I'm just looking for
Let me stab a horse.
Yes.
Wow.
Just
Got it.
I just need
And then kill her.
A
And
little
then-
stabby stab. Just a little.
wasn't enough. You know. You had to
All right, that's an interesting question.
What's
there.
that?
We made a crude joke, but did Jack the Ripper have relations with any of the women prior to killing them?
That's a great question,
great,
Adam.
yeah.
So the answer is no.
Okay.
Wow.
No, he did not. There is no evidence at the time or after the fact that as we think of like you know rape or sexual assault was part of this. Now that is not to say that there were not sexual motivations to these crimes because a lot of the time, again, we know more because of contemporary serial killers that you know stabbing
Yes.
is often a stand-in.
That's his get off.
Is often a stand-in for other
So it's
things.
more anatomical than anything else.
Now, also given the nature of some of these mutilations, it was also one of those like, and we're also dealing with sex workers, so it's not to say that it's like
I'm
that
not
was
touching that.
completely like a no, but there was no evidence that that had happened, and some of these, the timing, it was like that was fast, like it was like from the time they were seen alive.
Maybe that's why he killed them.
There were layers, lots of layers. Everyone had like
Or
9
impotence.
9
Maybe, I don't
million petticoats. I'm just saying.
Leather apron, coat, pants, shorts.
There's a lot of stuff. Corsets, petticoats. There's a lot of things happening.
There's one thing we're going to get
Shoelaces.
This one thing we're going to get into towards the end on the suspects, where they're like, "Do we have DNA from Jack the Ripper?" Because they're like, "We found something," and someone was like, "It's semen," and then someone else is like, "This is absolutely not semen." So, Wayne, you're wrong. To answer your question, there's
Mayonnaise.
there's lots of blood. There is no semen at any of these scenes. That, not to say that's not a motivation, but that was not part of the signature.
Lots of blood, no semen. Right, that's things that we can't say on our show.
Lots of blood, no semen. So
They can't. You won't let me.
Just come over to ours. We say it all the
His
time.
mum listens. And my mum's used to me.
You won't listen to this one.
So we're going to get into the double event now. So we're at the halfway mark here for the Canonical Five. This happened on Sunday, the 30th of September.
So it's really ramping up.
Yes, we're escalating now. So on Sunday, September 30th, in the early morning hours, the body of sex worker Elizabeth Stride, aka Long Liz, was her nickname. I thought that was
Long Liz.
Long Liz. We don't know.
I'm assuming she was
She was
tall.
thin. She was tall and thin.
Then, right?
She
Tom
wasn't.
thing.
There's a whole thing.
I saw her picture.
No, there's a whole thing about her nickname that really doesn't matter and has no payoff. But I guess I don't know. It was one of those like. No,
We'll go with
offense.
long and thin. She was tall and thin.
Long and thin.
It was one of those very English things where I was like, I'm sure this would be very funny at the time, and no one understands this anymore. So
That's why you've got us.
She was a Man United fan.
I know, but I didn't put it in my notes, and because I was like, this is weird. I will say, like sketches of her, because like they have photos of some of these people,
Yeah.
but only post mortem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like asleep.
I have lots of photos of corpses on my computer right now, but they did
My
a.
phone, I was
Colorized
gonna
version,
Google it.
the last one, the colorized version, that got me. Whoa!
Oh, it's a lot, yeah.
Of the last one, hello.
But of Elizabeth Stride, they
What's
did
the name?
sketch-
Long Liz?
Elizabeth Stride.
He's looking it
But
up.
they did sketches of all
Yeah.
these people, like to show how they looked of like, hey, this person was murdered. A very unflattering sketch of poor Elizabeth Stride.
Come
I
on
was like,
now.
oh, what the
Is it a
hell?
stick
Bloody hell.
Stick figure.
Like, do her right
did you look
in
up?
depth.
Adam's looking up.
The colorized version? Oh, yeah, that's Long Liz.
Long Liz.
Bless her.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was lying in a pool of blood.
That's by the opera.
Yes. Very scary.
Everything's relaxed, man. And their throat's cut. Give her a break.
So again, they found her on the street. She's laying in a pool of blood and her throat is cut from left to right. She had been killed just minutes before. Her body was not yet mutilated and she was not cold.
She was warm.
Yes. So they were like, oh, and it was like one of those like you were like actively still sort of like bleeding out, and
Right.
to the point where like they're kind of like looking left and right.
Where is
like,
he?
This just happened, and they thought he was interrupted because there was no other mutilation. It was just the throat slash. That was it.
And he just hid in one of those corners.
Yeah, in the dark alleys.
in the dark
Literally
alleyways.
Yeah.
faded into the darkness.
Yeah.
So she was actually still holding a packet of like these like breath mint sweets in her hand when she was discovered, meaning like she was surprised and she hadn't even tried to like struggle or defend herself. Like he might have like come up from behind her and she was like,
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
it.
crazy. Which also leads into the whole, there was no like, that's the one to.
Right.
It just like, oh, you're.
And were these
yeah.
even like customers or people who like these women were soliciting, or was this truly like a stranger danger?
Right.
Yeah, he's just literally walking up and killing these people.
Yeah, it's like
That's what
popping
I
out-
feel.
popping out of the shadows.
Feels, yeah. Like
Absolutely.
she's getting out of breath mint to like go to that guy over there and he
Right.
comes up behind her and cuts her ear to ear.
Yeah, just totally
Wow.
deranged. So
I'm listening.
no, I said, Adam, you're like looking at these photos.
No, it was fascinating.
Adam's like, oh my god. So she, so then we have at 1:45 a.m. So this is like minutes later. This is literally 45 minutes later. Catherine Eddowes' mutilated body was found by P.C. Edward Watkins at the southwest corner of Mitre Square, which was a 12-minute walk from Burner Street where Elizabeth Stride's body was found. So she had been killed less than 10 minutes earlier. So again, super fresh.
Yeah.
This just happened.
Do we know what interrupted?
We don't.
I thought I heard there was like an officer or something.
I mean, a leading theory
so many
is that
times. I
the
maybe
killer was
mixed that up.
interrupted by the arrival of Deemschutz's horse and cart.
yeah.
With
Possibly.
But Bump's back. He's still turning around in the alleyway.
Producer Dan's been helping me by Googling and texting a lot of the same time.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, producer Dan.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
he was interrupted.
He was interrupted for sure.
yeah,
We
right.
don't know for certain by what because we don't have an eyewitness.
Right.
to, like,
Right.
The slashy slash.
But he basically went from one right to the other.
He wasn't satisfied.
Nope.
Basically.
Yeah,
It's like, that wasn't enough.
Mutilate them, yeah.
It was the same thing as the night Ted Bundy. He tried to kidnap that woman, Carol Durange, who escaped, and he got so pissed off, he like drove like 20 minutes away, found another woman, kidnapped and murdered her. So it's like he clearly, I go back to like, this is someone who was just like, I just want to do time. I don't really care about who. Like, this is just, I'm going to look for someone on the street. Nobody's around.
Yeah, he was
Great.
frustrated with that.
That's
first
the
kill.
opportunistic part that we
Yeah. So she had been killed, like I said, less than 10 minutes earlier, slashed to the throat from left to right. They're at this point, they have more than one victim to look at. They're guessing that the knife is at least 6 inches long. This is going to be important later.
Okay.
So like this is a sizable weapon.
Yeah.
And
So this is like a guy that like put big tires on his truck.
very big, big hands, big shoes.
know what I'm saying?
So
big metal on the back. Yes.
Yes, absolutely, very masculine. Yes. The manliest man ever. I'm certain.
Make Whitechapel great again. That sort of thing.
So her face and abdomen were mutilated. And again, like one of the earlier murders we talked about, her intestines had been drawn out and were thrown over the right shoulder. And there was a detached length between her torso and left arm. Her left kidney and most of her uterus were also removed and gone.
So they were getting rid of the intestine. They're in the intestines over the shoulder.
They're in
Like,
the way.
get
That's
it
the
out of
first
the
thing
way.
you get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Jen. Yes.
Okay.
He's like,
Let's
like,
move
I gotta
the
get to the
abs.
uterus.
Your guts hang low. Do they wobble to and fro?
Can you tie him in a nook? Can you tie him in a bowl?
yeah. So uterus and kidneys.
That's what they're really
Wow.
trying to get to the uterus.
There's your
I
uterus
feel.
coming. Never mind.
Yeah. So again, they're like, oh my God. So they're thinking now, we've got this one dead woman over here. We have the same MO. So he literally just walked from one to the other
12
until
minutes.
he found somebody. And then, So this is like, wow, you're on
And she just happened to be there. That poor lady just.
Yeah.
wrong place, wrong time. So again, this is where the pathologist, this is Dr. Gordon Brown. He is stating on the record again and
Prime
reporting.
Minister.
He's reporting to the media that this perpetrator had considerable knowledge of the position of the organs from the position of the wounds. He could also tell somehow that the murderer had knelt on the right side of the body. And they also were
Interesting.
like, this is someone who worked alone because they're like, it was a precise cut. Like you
Right.
took out like the stuff that was in the way and you took what you needed. So at 3 a.m., a bloodstained fragment of Eddowes' apron was found lying in the passage of the doorway leading to 108 Goulston Street in Whitechapel, a third of the mile from the murder scene. So they're like, huh. So, and then there's more. This was where I'm like, what? There was chalk on the writing of the doorway, which read, and it's written phonetically. It read, "The Jews are the men that will not be blamed for nothing." And at 5 a.m., Commissioner Warren, he gets on the scene and he says, "Those words might make people mad and spark anti-Semitic riots. Better wash them off."
There already was so much anti-Semitism there.
Yeah.
There was so much more I could have talked about, but I was like, keep it brief, man.
There sure was. So they find this piece of the apron. So like, okay, and that address would also signify the apron piece was found between where the two bodies were located. If we're not looking at maps, so it was like, okay, so you then retraced your steps again, probably.
Interesting. I wonder if
And
he was trying to go back.
I don't know, to like check on the scene or something like.
Maybe.
Did they find her?
Did
Like,
they find her? Or is she still there? Can I
Can I have a go?
Yeah.
Get the other kidney.
Yeah.
So finally, we get to the last of the canonical five, and this is the one where it's like, don't
Photogram.
Google pictures of
Photogram.
this if you're not.
I already did. I just said I did. The colored version.
Listeners, don't Google
Whoa.
photos. Don't do
I don't know where my
If
phone
you're
is in
not-
amongst
We've
the
done
three
it. Don't do
colors.
it.
It's rough.
There it is.
He found it.
You good? Oh God,
One, I was impressed they colorized that picture from the 1880s.
Adam's looking.
I'm a very visual learner.
So
Oh, you're going to hate this.
on Friday, the 9th of November, sometime sex worker Mary Jane Kelly was murdered in the single room where she lived at 13 Miller's Court on Dorset Street in Spitalfields. Adam just found
He
it.
found it.
Oh, blimey.
I know. She was actually the youngest of these victims. Most of these women were in their late 30s and even 40s. She was actually
Again.
25.
Wow.
Again, she was the youngest of the victims.
You can't tell from this this picture.
Yeah. She was described, you can't tell in the picture, as having blonde or reddish hair. She was relatively tall, 5'7".
She's got red hair in this picture.
color red. She was
Might be blood, but it's definitely red.
She was described,
Check out that
though,
right side, Bo.
as being quite attractive. And Jen, I thought of you with your whole well-endowed,
Well,
easy on the eyes. She
Best
was,
review I ever had.
She was reported as being a pretty, buxom girl, and she always wore a clean apron. They said in the newspaper, they said she had considerable personal attractions. So she must have actually been like...
She lit up a room.
She lit up
She
a
was
room.
lovely.
God damn it.
Which I'm like, not to say the others weren't lovely, but she's the only one
No,
where
we
they're
saw
like,
the pictures.
this-
They were
yeah,
they
she
were
was
rough,
some more
rough
visible.
living.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So she was like tall, fair, slim, a fresh complexion. Like, there's a lot of discussion about her appearance.
Heather Graham.
Yeah. She had been married briefly, but her husband had died in a coal mining explosion. So she had only relatively recently turned to sex work because, to your point, Jen, it was one of those like, I can't support myself
There
elsewhere.
was another one that Vikings that happened to too, right? Like her husband left her.
Several, yes.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
like the man in their
one-
life.
Yeah, one guy like kept giving her the money, like, yeah, I owe you money. But then he passed away, right? And that's when she was like, well, I got to do this now.
This tends to be
get
a
fed.
theme in our podcast.
Sure
The
does.
women like have to turn to something that they didn't necessarily want to do because they have to make money.
Right.
Yeah, and to again, like not to like totally digress, but like she really did try like career wise. Like she would have had an Etsy shop if she'd been alive today.
Yeah.
Because she was like crafty and like she made stuff. It was not enough to support her. So she was doing her best. But Elizabeth Prater, who resided in the room directly above Kelly, was awoken in the night by her cat. And another woman, Sarah Lewis, who slept at number 2 Miller's Court. So these are like literally her neighbors next to
Yeah.
and above her. They both reported hearing a faint cry of murder between 3:30 a.m. and
Could have been the
4
cat.
a.m. Well, murder. But they didn't react because it was literally so common to hear these sorts of
Jesus
cries in the East End.
Christ.
It's like people always be like,
They're like, can you keep it down? I just got to sleep.
yes. So they didn't do anything. They didn't check. They didn't call anyone. So like, just start nightly, someone shouting murder.
Well, that's that whole like, what's the mob mentality? Like, somebody else will do it.
yeah. Yeah. It's like that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more, if there's like a crime or even an accident, the more people that are around, the less likely someone is to help you.
Always call.
Yeah.
I mean, not to bring it to modern events, but the recent horrendous issue with the young Ukrainian girl and the
Yes.
Yes.
On the train.
was it
yeah,
the train?
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because they're like, oh shoot, and like nobody stepped in.
Nobody did a thing.
Yeah, because she might have survived.
Yeah, step in.
So Kelly's severely mutilated body was discovered shortly after 10:30 a.m. lying on the bed. So she was in like a residence.
And she had, like, that was her house.
Yes, she was the only person, she was the only victim who was in a closed room. And this is why they think the mutilation was so much more serious.
Yeah.
Because
Then we could take his time.
He could take his time.
privacy. Yeah. You had time and privacy. So the first doctor at the scene, this was Dr. Phillips, no relation to the neighborhood near us.
No relation to the orange like magnet.
He also believed that Kelly was killed by a slash to the throat, the carotid artery was severed, vein, and there was corresponding blood splatter. They thought that she might have actually been like killed in her sleep because she was wearing her nightgown. She was like laying down in the bed, and it was one of those like you lay down and like you never got up. So again, it's like, did they get you in the dark? Was this someone you knew? Was this a client? Was it a
Yeah,
friend?
plus the splatter was up the wall, so it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
so they could tell she was laying down like when this happened. But after she died, her abdominal cavity was sliced open, and not to be grim, it was from sternum all the way around up her back.
Yep.
Like she was practically like
cutting-
chopped in half almost.
Like
She was Art the Clown.
open like a Tesla.
Yes, very upsetting. So all of her internal organs pretty much were removed and spread around the room.
I didn't
Pretty, yeah. she was-
remember that he spread them around the
Yeah,
room.
she was essentially mutilated beyond recognition. And then there was also like a lot of like cuts and stuff to like, her thighs
legs,
and like muscle was removed again. It was like you had so much time. It was almost like you didn't know what to do with yourself. And you're just like,
What can I do?
What happens if I cut here and here? Oh, it removes the thigh muscle. Cool.
It was weird. It's like you never had so much time because before it's like, we had the kidney, we had part of a uterus. This is like you have hours. I mean, potentially if it was like around, we'll say 3:30 a.m., she's not discovered till 10:45. you had what?
A solid 6 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
6
at
hours of
least.
just slicing and dicing.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. So they also a lot of her clothes were like burned in the grate of like the room. Like the fire was still going, and they realized like some of her personal possessions and clothes were burning. They're like, that's different and weird.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they thought like, yeah, she undressed herself. She laid down in the bed, and that was where she was killed. So again, they're like, maybe someone she knew. Like that's really different. So. Like we talked about, there were 11 of these like murders in total, but some of the other ones, it was like the MO didn't quite line up.
Okay.
So, there's these all went unsolved, by the way. All of these 11, like they were all unsolved in addition to the canonical 5. But this enduring mystery has captured the public imagination to the present day because they never did find anybody to officially say like, yes, this was definitely you. We found the smoking gun. But over the course of the Whitechapel murders, the police and newspapers received hundreds of letters regarding the case. Some were advice or tips or saying like, my husband's been weird. Like you should look at him.
That's always the case. So my husband's been weird. Can you lock him up, please?
There's
Thank
always
you.
some woman.
He hasn't talked to me for days.
Something's wrong.
Orson Welles was rude to me once. He's the Black Dahlia
He's the
killer.
Black Dahlia killer.
That was a real thing. That was a real thing that
It's
happened.
true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently rudeness can get you suspected for murder. So just
Well,
There you go.
Hey, I am delightful.
thank
You
that.
also light up a room, Adam.
Thank you.
But the majority of these letters,
Dark blue, but it's lit.
the majority of the letters saying like, I am the killer, they were quickly found to be hoaxes, or there were details in them that were like, yeah, no, sorry, try again. Like that didn't happen. And they were useless. So there were all these letters that were supposed to have been written by the killer himself, but there were 3 that stood out as being written by, very likely, the real killer. So Wayne,
Oh,
would you do us the honor
Hang on.
for Postman Pat?
I was going to say we have an intro for this one.
Okay. Wonderful.
We've been talking about the dark, the bloody, the mutilated uteri. So sing along.
You know the words.
you know the words. Sing along.
Levity. I love it.
Do.
Postman splat, postman splat, postman splat, and his uterine cat.
What?
I don't know.
Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in
Hang on,
his van.
Dan, back it up a little bit. We might have solved it here.
Oh no. Oh no.
Go on,
Where were you in 1888?
Is it Postman Pat?
go from out there. Yeah, go on. All right, think about it in context.
Okay.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
Cat, Whitechapel,
Whitechapel cat. Yes.
early in the morning, 3 a.m.,
Just
just as day is dawning.
Yeah.
He picks up all the post bags in his van.
Uterus.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Wow. Postman Pat did it.
Postman Pat did it.
Is Postman Pat Jack the Ripper?
I think he is.
All
think he-
Scotland Yard.
That's why they never found me. Worked for the British.
Exactly.
Mail
You're-
service.
Royal
You're
Mail.
protecting him.
Yeah.
You
Obviously.
Jen, feel like you've got the red string on the mood board. It's very official.
Postman Pat and Voldemort did it.
Wayne, would you be so kind as to read us what is called now the Dear Boss letter? And this actually came after Annie Chapman, but before the double event. Okay.
Right. This was dated the 25th of September, 1888, after Annie, of course. And it says, Dear Boss, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I've laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. The joke about the leather apron gave me real fits. I am down on whores and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled. Buckled means getting arrested.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here for this. Grand work, that last job. I gave the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and I want to start again. You will soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with, but it went thick like glue and I can't use it.
Oh, no.
Red ink it is fit enough. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. And then he laughs. Ha ha.
He literally
Adds in the
writes,
ha
"Ha,
ha. Yeah.
Great.
The next-
LOL.
Yeah, LOL. Cry face emoji. The next job I do, I shall clip the ladies' ears off and send them to the police officers just for a jolly, wouldn't you? Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knives so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper.
He named himself.
He did.
But
he
then,
did.
then he writes, there's a little. There's
Yeah,
a
he
little
says,
note.
don't mind me giving the trade name.
He's all
P.S.
pleased.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't
So
mind me
proud
giving
of
my
him.
own name.
So proud of himself.
Oh yeah, I thought this one through. After I did it through.
Well done.
P.S. wasn't good enough to post this before I got all the red ink off my hands. Curse it. Curse it, sorry.
Curse it. I have to do this.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, by the way. That's why they're having me read this for comedy.
Yeah. Reading cold.
No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now.
He
I don't-
literally LOLs twice
Yeah.
in this letter. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
very proud of himself.
Yeah, so this is where again he's like trolling the police and the investigators are like, I don't know, maybe someone with surgical knowledge. He's like, oh, you think I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say he's not. But
Right.
at the same time, it's like, oh, you are clearly following this and enjoying enjoying the attention you're receiving.
How fascinating, though, too, that so many people sent in letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they
It's
said
me.
some of them they thought were the press to get some of the kick.
get
You know,
some- Yeah.
let's get
Right.
some. Let's send some
Nothing
letters
has
in. We'll get the news
we'll
front
get them
page.
Well, this is not a spoiler, but a lot of people think this letter was written by a journalist.
Really?
Yes. So there is
That one we've just heard?
the one we just
Yeah,
heard.
the boss letter.
So there is speculation. Again, the three letters we're hearing are widely considered to be the only, we'll say, credible letters. It was like, if Jack the Ripper wrote anything, it's these ones. There were other ones that were like, for various reasons, it couldn't have been him, or they're like, eh. But now, contemporarily, there are people who are like, oh, a journalist wrote this for intention and to beef up newspaper sales, as we're going to hear from Olivia and some VO regarding like the role the newspapers played in the sensationalism of this case and potentially in like crazy people like wanting to write in or wanting to like be part of it. But I just think it's so interesting that much like other serial killers, he named himself.
Yep.
Like BTK named himself.
Zodiac.
Zodiac named himself.
I know you love the Zodiac.
Jack the Ripper named himself. I think Zodiac was solved recently.
I know.
I was so disappointed with Zodiac. I saw that film. I didn't know anything about it. 3 hours of my life. I'm like, what? We don't know who he is?
But Adam, have you seen the new documentary?
documentary?
On the Netflix? Oh, Adam, it's called This is the Zodiac. Do it.
Oh, okay.
Cancel your plans. You're going to need to.
Oh, all right.
Wayne, do the podcast yourself.
I'll dive into it.
Bye.
So we now have on October 1st, this was sent to London Central News Agency. This was right after the double event, meaning he did the double event and the next day he sends this postcard. So Wayne, would you please read what is now known as the Saucy Jackie postcard?
Oh, the Saucy Jackie. Dated 1st of October, my birthday.
Wayne's birthday.
Birthday.
Happy
It's coming.
of October.
We are the same person.
We are. Okay.
Except this was 1888, so just 2 years
All right.
before my birthday.
Correct.
Anyway, it was a postcard that says, "Wish you was here."
It
No,
does
that's not
not.
what it says.
Does not.
The beach is lovely. It says, I was not codding dear boy. Also, don't have my glasses. I was not codding dear old boss when I gave you the tip. Was that the earlobe tip? We'll get to that. Hold on, sorry. My brain just ADVH. Where am I? Okay. You'll hear about Saucy Jack's work tomorrow. Double event this time. Number one squealed a bit, couldn't finish straight off, had no time to get ears off. For police, thanks for keeping last letter back till I got to work again. Jack the Ripper. So that ties to the letter. I just answered before I even got there, right?
I was
What
like,
a
wait,
dummy.
did he do the
I
ears?
pre- I didn't even do that on purpose.
So
Okay.
this again, it's right after the double event, but he's also giving details.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a double event.
I was responsible for both, and also like I didn't have time to do everything I wanted with the
screamed.
first one. And oops, and I had to run away, and that's why I couldn't send you ears.
Ooh.
You know,
I wonder if that's why he ran, because she screamed.
Sound. He didn't cut deep enough.
no,
Probably.
yeah.
But this wasn't sent to the police. This was sent to a news agency, it says, right?
Correct.
Much
it
like the
was.
Zodiac.
but he knew the police were gonna like.
Just like
Right.
Yeah,
thumbs it in the bin.
So it was interesting because he's like, "Oh, thanks for keeping the last letter back until I, was able to do my thing." Because again, they're getting so many letters. The lineup of like, which are maybe real and which are just like, bullshit. They weren't releasing this like, up to date, and yet they certainly didn't have the tools to do that. So it's like a lot of the newspaper speculation is just them speculating wildly. They weren't necessarily collaborating with the investigators to say, oh, we have like a new tip or we have a letter that we've, proven. Like that wasn't happening. So we finally have the third and maybe most chilling. We have what is called the From Hell letter.
Oh, named after the film.
There you go. Right after the film.
Finally, we've tied you into this whole thing. You and your bloody film.
Adam, I'm going to blow your mind. The film is named after the letter, not the letter.
No. Movies always come first.
So this was actually sent along with half a human kidney. And this is believed to be the kidney he took from Catherine Eddowes. So remember, he took part of the uterus, took one of her kidneys. So again, we didn't have DNA at the time. They couldn't check for sure, but also like, who around here is casually missing
Could they
a
not like
kidney?
put it up with the other half?
I think they did. And that was why they're like,
Then he took the whole kidney though, right?
did.
And he sent half of it. So
Yes.
they didn't have the other half.
Oh,
Kept the other half and the uterus.
but they had, I guess.
funny that you should know that, Wayne.
No, this
well, it was only like a
fava
year
beans.
before his birth, right?
We
Well,
just did that.
So I'm not
This is a creepy detail, but again, this is like scary surgical stuff. So there are tubes that connect your kidney like to your bladder and stuff, and it was sliced on the tube to take the whole kidney, and the piece he sent had the little tube attachment. So that was why they're like, looks like it's probably
it's a match.
They held it up and they're like, this is probably
And that's when tying your tubes was invented.
Right.
not at all.
It's not the
Oh, it's
same
not?
tube.
Sorry, I don't know.
So
Jesus, Wayne.
different thing. So this was sent to
This
police.
is why women's reproductive health care is so important.
Boy.
Say.
Because Wayne's taking over as the Surgeon General.
Well, he'd be more,
Sorry.
so you could. He'd be, anyway.
The From Hell letter, this was sent to police. So Wayne, when you're composed, take it away.
Mr. Lusk. So. Yeah, I don't know why he spelled it like that because he couldn't spell either.
No. What we have to identify though is, and I'm sorry, it's not evident in the document. At the top of the letter was literally written the words "From Hell," like where a return address would be.
Oh.
So it's like where are you sending this from? It's like Liverpool. I'm sending this from hell.
Oh, so
Same
not,
thing.
So, yes.
not the movie.
right.
Postcode.
He wasn't naming the
L4.
movie.
Right. He was from the set of the movie. Yes. It was Johnny Depp's letterhead. Got it.
Well,
I send you half the kidney. I took from one woman, what's that word?
Preserve.
Preserved. Good
very
Lord. I
misspelled.
really can't see this.
No, it's old
it's dim in here. It's,
Yeah.
Phonetically spelled.
It for you, to the piece.
to the
To the
piece.
piece.
To the piece.
Like other piece.
Hang on, he's from, where's he from now?
Right. Now he's
God, you
not.
lads are here.
I fried and ate it. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cannibalism.
It was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out if you only wait a while longer. Signed, Catch Me When You Can, Mr. Lusk.
So we've got cannibalism in the mix.
Now he's eating them. Lovely. All right.
Which maybe not out of the realm of possibility, given that he was like digging other organs.
Yeah.
So as far as an MO, cannibalism, it's not a logical extension of where this was going, but this is the only letter that mentions it. It's interesting because we talk about these are the three that are sort of believed to be from Jack the Ripper. Of the three, this is the one that they think of like, if any of these were definitely from him, it's this one.
But it's the least educated sounding.
It is.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
they're like, well, is
why I
that
have a hard
on
time reading it.
is that on purpose? Because they're like, this does indicate like a lower level of education.
Right.
You know, things are misspelled. It's not nearly as eloquent. Whereas the other two, they also talk about like tonally, this one is different.
Yeah, very much so.
You open with "From Hell." And you're
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it's very
No, he was up there.
In the other direction.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
different.
I
But
didn't have that back then.
Right.
So
yeah. But this one tonally too, it's very dark It's very to the point. We're bringing in cannibalism into the mix. Whereas the other two, he's like, haha, Saucy Jackie. Like, y'all know
Yeah, the first one. Don't mind me if I name myself.
Yeah. And he signs both of those, Jack the Ripper, whereas he signs this one, Catch Me When You Can.
That's very interesting.
He doesn't sign it.
So it's interesting, and there's some we'll post these letters and we get the letters. Like there's some differences in handwriting. So this one does stand a bit alone from the other two from the postcard.
So perhaps he didn't name himself. The press man.
Maybe he didn't. Exactly, Jen.
The papers named him.
The peeps. So we're going to talk now about the news media and the role it played. So we're actually going to
Speaking of segues.
Speaking of segues, we're going to
need the
kick
rest of
this
that, I
over
don't think.
to Olivia, because Jack the Ripper was not the first serial killer, but his case was the first to create this sort of worldwide media frenzy around a murder. So we'll be hearing from Olivia on this matter.
This
Take
is
it
where we
away,
do a
Lucy.
magic cut, yes?
Jack the Ripper was not the first serial killer, but his case was the first to create a worldwide media frenzy. Literacy had risen over the previous decade, increased affordability and circulation of newspapers, with over 1 million copies of newspapers devoted to the Whitechapel murders were sold every day. The Star, September 8th, 1888. Whitechapel is panic-stricken at another fiendish crime. Another shocking murder. A woman's body mutilated in a manner which only a devil could have conceived. The Star, September 5th, 1888. The Leather Apron Scare. Leather Apron. The only name linked with the Whitechapel murders. A noiseless midnight terror. The strange character who prowls about Whitechapel after midnight. Universal fear among the women. Slippered feet and a sharp leathered knife. The Times, September 1st, 1888. Another murder in Whitechapel. The body of a woman with the throat cut and fearful mutilations. The police have no clue. Echo, October 31st, 1888. Horrible murder in Whitechapel. Woman shockingly mutilated. Head nearly cut off. No more revolting crime has ever been committed in Whitechapel. The lower portion of the abdomen completely ripped open. Illustrated Police News, September 8th, 1888. The murder in Whitechapel. Her livid face was stained with blood and her throat cut from ear to ear. The bowels were protruding. Lloyd's Weekly Newspaper, September 2nd, 1888. The Whitechapel Horror. Another awful murder in Whitechapel. A woman found brutally hacked to death in the street. A murder excelling in atrocity. The brutality of the murder is beyond conception and beyond description. Illustrated Police News, November 17th, 1888. Another Whitechapel horror. More revolting mutilation than ever, with full-page illustrations. The horrible murder in Dorset Street. The mutilations are more revolting than ever.
Well, that was fascinating. That was lovely.
Her voice is amazing.
Isn't it? I love that bit about
Wow.
the thing with the stuff.
Angelic. And that's what I say about her voice.
Well done, Olivia. So now we're going to dig into some of the theories and the suspects.
Yes.
So Adam and I are going to kind of tag in on
team?
this, and we'll be obviously wanting color commentary
That's us.
from
That's
this
me and you,
from this
partner.
sofa. So
this sofa
this
over
was
here.
actually one of the first time that criminal profiling was even a thing. They weren't calling it that yet, but this was one of the first cases of any kind where police, because they're like, we have so many suspects and yet no suspects. What type of person should we look for? Like, who would have done this?
Right.
So, like, now we have like FBI profiling, and I'm sure Scotland Yard does something very similar, but they look at characteristics when you have an unknown offender. You look at characteristics, social, economical things like behavioral. Who should we be looking for?
right.
We talked a little bit about he has some anatomical, maybe surgical skill. Was he a doctor? Was this someone also who, like we talked about with Bundy, was this someone who was pretty put together and could blend in? Or was this someone like at the time, and this is what we, I think, heard from with some of the news clippings, like, he's a deranged killer, a madman is on the loose.
Wearing a cape and a top hat.
Right. And you see these murder scenes and they're so grisly. People are like, only a madman could have done this. And it's like, well,
Or could he? It's specifically placed. It's put in the right person.
Yeah.
I know exactly which lane I'm going in, which alleyway I'll be in.
Strategic.
Yeah. The strategy of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to kick it off with John Pizer. So we mentioned him a little bit earlier, but he was
This is you, isn't it?
it is me. I'm first. It's me. Adam doesn't know the order. He just knows who he's supposed to
I just know what I
Sorry, Ashley leads us so well, so it's good.
So John Pizer, he is an English bootmaker in Whitechapel. So he's working with leather
And tools, sharp tools.
He
Right.
has knives in
Leather
his life.
apron, perhaps.
He sure does. So he was the first person to be accused of being the perpetrator in the broader Whitechapel canon. So this is when they're still like, they didn't have any distinction with the canonical five.
Okay.
They were just like, hey, women are getting murdered in the area. So he was actually
More often than normal.
yeah, several.
Every other day now. What's going on?
So he was actually cleared of suspicion after he provided alibis for the first two murders. But this is where we think he might be Jack the Ripper because he could have possibly been tied to the canonical five,
Right.
just not the other.
The first two.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
the one was a gang, so we can kind of throw that one out
it's
the
like,
window
you're-
anyway.
You're not a gang, sir.
Right. You're
just-
one person.
Just you. So he was a bootmaker, as I mentioned, but he was actually unemployed at the time of the murders, and he was living away from home in various boarding houses and Dawes houses.
Yeah.
And just kind of roaming the area. So in July of 1887, he had gone to the shop of a rival shoemaker on Morgan
no.
Street. I know. He walked up to the window and he said, "No wonder I can't get any work when you've got it all." And this other shoemaker, he just told him to leave, and he was like, "Hey, like, get out of here."
Or I'll take your soul. Thank you. Good night.
So this other guy is like, "Hey, get out of here!" And he approaches him. Pizer lunges at him with a knife.
Ah!
He aimed for the face, but instead stabbed him in the hand because he held his hand defensively. Yeah.
Defensive wounds.
So on July 7th, Pizer was sentenced to 6 months hard labor for the stabbery. So
That needs to be a movie. Right?
Yeah.
Taking my boot work.
this guy.
How dare you?
Yeah, two bootmakers going at it.
Yeah.
So on August 4th of 1888, he was tried at the Thames Magistrates Court for the charge.
Thames.
I'm so sorry. Thames. I'm just living in
Thames.
Florida.
Okay.
I was close.
Thames.
Thames. For the charge of indecent assault.
What?
Decent.
Did he get his pants off?
It's not just assault, it's indecent assault.
I'm going to stab you with this.
This instead.
Give me your hand.
So in this case, he was accused of threatening a woman named Sarah Jones with a
no,
knife
Sarah.
over a financial matter, but the case was dismissed because she failed to appear.
Because she was
Damn it.
dead.
Probably.
She was gone.
Was it indecent
Where was she?
because it was a woman?
What now?
Was it indecent because it was a woman?
I don't know why indecent. They didn't specify. They're just
Sorry,
like,
that's just-
it's
I'm
not just
stuck on
assault. It's indecent. Yeah. So the
You
police,
can't get a decent assault these days, no.
Well, and see, and here we go, because the police sergeant believed that Pizer had committed a string of minor assaults on sex workers in recent years.
Damn it.
And the news at this point was starting to get involved. So they said that Pizer was, quote, ill-using sex workers. But more detailed articles specified that he blackmailed and mugged the women at knife point.
Oh.
So he was basically like robbing sex workers. He was like,
Right.
hey, I just saw you
You've
with
got
this
cash
guy.
on you.
You've
Right.
got cash, yes. So
Taking it for his own boarding for the night.
Yeah.
Ill use implies there's a non-ill use.
I know, right? Like it's like you're gently mugging them, just a
Right.
nice,
Right.
just a sweet, yeah.
Just like,
Please.
hey, can you?
Please give us your money.
Please, sir, I want a whore.
Please, sir, can I have a whore?
Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens.
Next time you play Nancy,
Oh God.
throw that in.
So, through witness descriptions, Pizer became known locally as Leather Apron because of the noticeable apron he wore during these other attacks
Okay.
on sex workers. So, he himself, Pizer, initially denied that he knew like Leather Apron was his nickname. But then in the subsequent inquest, he was like, yeah, everyone does call me that because I'm wearing my leather apron because
All right, you've caught me.
That's it.
I make shoes. So the newspapers on September 4th, they named him as the suspect. They're like, we did it. We got him.
We got him.
It's him.
Right.
Leather apron must be the guy.
They didn't know about Postman Pat, so
I know, right? So there was a share of victim type because like, well, who else could possibly be an asshole to sex workers in the area? Also threatening,
this guy.
threatening people with a knife.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's up there.
Makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
lining up. So the police records don't actually list Leather Apron in their investigation until the 6th of September. But on August 31st, the newspapers were like, no, this guy looks pretty good for it. So Pizer later admitted to knowing that there was a search effort by police to locate him specifically because it was like, you're looking real bad. So he actually also said he had a fear of being lynched or injured by
yikes.
angry like townspeople.
Sure.
Like, what if the people take the law into their own hands because they think the police are moving?
what if all the sex workers from the 62 brothels come out? They're gonna
Never mind. Don't worry about them.
Do you hear the hooker sing?
So he was like hiding. He was
Yeah.
trying. He's like, I don't want the police to find me. I don't want like the crowds to find me, to know it's me. So following the murder of Annie Chapman on the 8th of September, there was renewed public appeals by the newspapers to find Leather Apron because again, he's still on the run. And I guess at that crime scene,
He's not got a big stride if he's got a leather apron on.
well, at that crime scene, I guess like there were reports that a leather apron was actually found near the scene. And he's like, well, that one's not mine. That's just like
Here's mine. I've got mine on.
I've got mine. Yeah,
All the
That's
time.
not her blood. This is her blood.
right. I know. It's like there's bloody leather aprons all over
Oh, no,
London.
it isn't.
That time I took it off, I was like, I was indecent assault, so I keep it on now.
Right.
You know?
So
Little hole with a flap.
the police eventually tracked him down, and several knives were confiscated from his home.
Wow.
They were going to inspect
Yeah.
these knives, but ultimately they found that there was no evidence against him. There was nothing that they could immediately
Okay.
trace to these murders. Like, this is circumstantial. This isn't great. They trotted him out in front of some of the witnesses, or people who were like in or near the area. I was like, hey, you were nearby when that murder happened. Did you see this guy? They did a little like early lineup.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like watching this lineup in my brain because obviously they weren't at the police station. It's
No,
just
no.
like, here he is.
They're just like, this one? Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah, this guy. And
Was there
Has
a
anyone
lineup or
ever
just
done
like
one of those? Has anyone ever done a lineup?
no.
No.
I've done one of them.
What?
Why?
They paid us in school to do one. There was someone of our age, and they took they picked a load of people of the look,
Yeah.
of which I was one. And we had to go down to the police station. I got £100.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
They
I'm quitting.
yeah, they assured us that
You
we
wouldn't
would
be
not be in
charged?
trouble.
Even if you were identified? They're like,
Yes.
Adam,
Okay.
he's the one.
They said
Wow.
we signed something that said that was
okay.
yeah.
So they were like, I signed it.
Yeah, and they put us in the little booth with
Wow.
some. I mean, we were all school friends, so we're like, oh fuck, it's him.
I know you.
We know
Don't
who it
feel so
is.
good here.
We were at the party
It's
last
that
night
one.
together, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was good.
Do you know, like, did they identify the correct person?
We never knew.
Oh, interesting.
Fantastic.
Well, this was not that, but they trotted him in front of some witnesses, and the witnesses said no, he's not
No.
the one. So
That's not his leather apron.
Yeah. Then he also had an alibi for the 2 earlier murders. They said, oh, definitely not the guy at all. So Pizer, also, I guess this was then later found out. They're like, oh, it's definitely not him now. He apparently had chronic health issues, and he had a hernia in his
Hernia region.
hernia region, which apparently would have made it difficult to overpower the victims in the manner that they were, because they were like,
Nothing over 30 pounds.
Right.
yeah, it's like your
head's
abdominal cavity and hip flexor area is compromised.
Yeah.
So following the inquest, again, he denied being leather apron. He was supported by his family and friends. He actually successfully obtained compensation in a libel lawsuit from at least one newspaper.
All right,
Because
get
the
'em.
newspapers
Right,
were
they
like,
said it's him.
He is the one. He is the murderer.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news. So, Adam, would you like to take our next?
Oh, I'm so
Oh, it says your name on the next one, but I will take the next
I'm going
one.
out of order now.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Who would you like?
I'm choosing violence. Well, I'm going to do Maybrick next.
Would you like Montague?
Montague. Let's hear about Montague.
Oh, Romeo?
Where fought thou?
Monty.
That was wrong.
You're cut off, mate.
We've got an episode
show to do
after this. And we've got strong stuff in there for that one.
Oh, good.
Montague John Druitt. He was the second son, middle child,
Wow.
of a medical practitioner. Medical. Flag that one up there.
Doctor.
Educated in Winchester.
Oh,
We all.
yeah. No, I wasn't. You was.
I was.
Okay.
And Oxford, which I was allowed to go into but didn't go.
Listeners,
Oh.
Adam is fancy.
You're
Oh, he's
so
fancy
fancy.
dandy. He's the fancy lad and the common lad. That's the difference.
That's why we're on this
was-
together. I gotcha.
He was known to denounce liberals as morally and socially a curse to the world.
It's him. He
him.
is skeleton.
He did it. He did it. He's asked me anything. He was a cricketer.
Oh,
Cricket's big in Winchester.
Yeah.
Terrible sport. Hate it.
that's
He
why
really
didn't
bowled
stay.
them over.
Oh, didn't he? With that blood, he's got a sticky wicket, hasn't he? But because of that, you asked me to do this. Because of that, he was known to have formidable strength in his arms and his wrists.
Right, cricket.
Strong
Because of the
wrists.
balls.
Right, sure. Those balls.
Different
Yeah,
balls.
different balls.
Yeah.
Yep.
But of course, being a Winchester and Oxford man, he started a law career. He was admitted to the bar in 1885.
A responsible citizen.
A responsible citizen, you would say.
Oh.
The same year, unconnected, his dad had a heart attack.
Oh, no. Sorry,
leaving
man.
his brother and his mother and himself to handle the affairs.
Right.
That's a lot of affairs to have. And to supplement the income, he began a placement as a master at Blackheath School. Blackheath, Whitechapel, see where I'm going here.
Yeah.
His mother succumbed.
Died. Yeah.
No, to mental health illnesses and was confined in an asylum.
Oh no.
So she just went a bit,
Okay.
Back when we did asylums.
yeah,
you know.
back when we
right.
did those.
Right. Wait, are you sure she wasn't just like just a little unhappy?
just menopause?
Like menopause? Like I was like
It's hot.
yeah,
It's winter, you crazy
Put
woman.
her in the room with a thing that goes.
exactly.
She'll be fine.
It was a little hysterical.
I saw that play.
Feeling
That's fine.
down.
It's a great play.
It's that's
Now, he was found in December. I didn't have the exact date because I've been copy and paste that part.
how did it?
I believe it was towards the end of December 31st. It was a New Year's Eve little discovery with stones in his pockets in the River Thames.
Oh, someone threw him in, eh?
Somewhat dead
Somewhat.
on account of the death. And that was ruled a suicide. Upon investigation, it was found that Druitt was accused of inappropriate conduct with students stemming from suspected homosexuality. This was never proven. You can't get anyone for libel. This was never proven, but it was strongly believed. Now, a letter was found upon his person while underwater.
Can't read that.
Good ink.
Oh, really? Okay.
Was it red ink?
Is that red ink? Right?
Bad.
Since Friday, I felt I was going to be like Mother, and the best thing for me was to die.
Oh, didn't want to go crazy.
Yeah, it's the full Norman Bates here.
Yeah.
Mother.
Now, the brunt of the argument.
Anthony Perkins, if you will.
Is this what it's like to be you when I'm sitting next to you? Is
little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. The brunt of the argument contending that Druitt was the Ripper lies with a quote.
Okay.
Mr. M.J. Druitt, said to be a doctor and of good family, who disappeared at the... Oh, this is a quote from Scotland Yard. Should have said that as context. Mr. M.J. Druitt, said to be a doctor and of good family, who disappeared at the time of the Miller's Court murder, and whose body, which was said to have been upwards of a month in the water, was found in the Thames on 31st of December. I got it right.
You were right.
Or about 7 weeks after that murder. He was
Okay.
sexually insane. Sexually insane?
Sexually insane.
Wow.
Goodness.
We don't throw that around anymore.
We don't. And from private information I have, little doubt but that his own family believed him to have been the murderer.
Wow.
Now,
Threw him under the bus.
there is
the carriage.
absolutely no evidence as to what the family, if the family actually said that,
Right.
what the reasons were. That's where that sentence ends.
That's it.
Now, and this goes on to say, evidence which supports Druitt's being the Ripper is all but non-existent. His only true link is his appearance and his likeness, which was very similar. The
Okay.
white man, that size, the hat, the knife, mustache, the whole 9 yards there. And the timeline of him committing the suicide fits in with the cessation of the murders.
Okay.
They ended when he ended.
Canonical 5.
Right.
Okay.
However, problems arise with this one. It is generally accepted that the Ripper was an inhabitant of the East End, Whitechapel, but Druitt had little or no experience in around the area of Whitechapel. He was living in Blackheath during the murders because teacher. So not really the person to pull you into the little back
Yeah, he
alleys,
wouldn't
'cause
go over
no,
there.
No. But Blackheath could still have been a base for the murders. You can oh, here we are. Oh, I got fancy in the writing of this. I actually wrote this, not copied and pasted. You can cite contemporary train schedules in order to disprove the theory of that, though. There was no all-night train service between London and Blackheath. The last train leaving Blackheath in 1888 left at 12:25 a.m., and the earliest leaving London for Blackheath was at 5:10 a.m.
Okay.
Although for the Nichols, Chapman, and Kelly murders, the Ripper may have been able to jaunt over to the station and take a train back to Blackheath, very little time wasted. That does not hold true for Stride, Eddowes, or Tabram. If the Ripper had killed them and needed to take a train back to Blackheath, would have had to remain in the area for the perilous hours. So as not to be
God.
detected. So yeah,
I was just going to ask how far away Blackheath was.
pretty far. Yeah. The killer could have remained in a common lodging house for some time, although
Right.
a respectable man such as Druitt, that would have seemed suspicious.
And there was conversation, exactly what you were just saying, Adam, about it's like, well, you didn't live in the neighborhood and you would have stood out as a gentleman in
Yes.
the area.
Yeah, you didn't spend the night at the brothels,
Right.
you know, just a couple hours.
But there was speculation that was the real Jack the Ripper. Was he someone upper class or was he aristocratic? Because some of these murders were discovered on the Tuesdays following a bank holiday.
oh, interesting.
Or on like a Friday or
Having a long weekend of it.
Weekend.
yeah, he
Yep.
came in on that train.
having a holiday
Yeah.
and doing a little stabby stab.
You haven't had any
While
extra,
he's there.
actually. Come on.
Oh, it was, Adam's topping me off. All right. All right. So he's probably not our guy, but bring back sexually insane is
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
is that just because he was
Do you?
maybe gay?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You heard it here first, folks.
but Adam, is that? Do we think that is code for the like? Oh my God, he was gay, therefore.
I think so.
I think sexually insane has to be a
Yeah.
horrible way of.
He's mental.
no other explanation.
Doesn't he know it goes up other places? Yes.
No other
Put
explanation.
them in there with those hysterical women.
That's it. He
Give
won't
them a
bother
vibrator.
then.
Yeah.
No, not even a little bit.
Right.
Well, this brings us to James Maybrick. So he was a cotton merchant in Liverpool, and he was married.
Scousha.
He was married to a Florence Maybrick. He died in
Convenient they have the same last name.
I know, right?
It's easy.
It's like you knew her.
Yeah.
He died in May of 1889. So remember, the Whitechapel murders ended in April.
Right.
He died in May from arsenic poisoning.
From his wife?
Wife was convicted
What?
of poisoning him.
Listen, You have to do what you have to do sometimes.
There was always controversy, and then later they were like, "Okay, maybe no, you didn't do it."
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
there was
Well.
controversy, but also not. I don't know. Jury's out. So in 1992, a Michael Barrett.
Oh, we
claimed
really
to-
jumped.
Yeah, we're jumping way ahead.
Wow.
Well, this is important.
Oh, we're in the late 1900s now.
Yeah, we've jumped
You know.
a couple hundred.
Don't say the late 1900s.
Isn't it the worst?
That's horrible.
My back just went out.
We're jumping 100 years. So, a Michael Barrett claimed to have found a diary allegedly written by Maybrick, in which Maybrick, or whoever the author was, confessed to being Jack the Ripper. There's more to this. It was like one of those, it was like old family estate, and I'm opening the floorboards, and I found a box. And what's this in a box under the floorboards? It's very.
It's the reason I want an old house, so I can open the floorboards and find something fantastic.
That's weird.
Thank you.
Why?
That's weird.
Thank you. And it needs to be haunted, and I need to find something in it, like both of these things.
lightly haunted.
Yeah, just
haunted
lightly.
house.
Done.
Yeah.
The diary goes on to describe the canonical 5 murders and some of the additional Whitechapel murders, claiming them for Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
A year later, in 93, an antique pocket watch was found or surfaced with
Okay.
the engraving of J. Maybrick, meaning like, this is my watch. And then like scratched in by hand were the words "I am Jack" with the initials of the canonical 5 victims.
Oh, I didn't know the initials were there.
Yes. So supporters argue that the engraving, it predates like the 90s. So it wasn't like, oh, some guy like
Scratch,
found a
scratch.
watch. Yeah, it was just,
Yeah, I know the history.
yeah, I'm going to do this. And like, look, I found a watch. There was like, no, based on, forensically, they could examine it at that point. Like, no, this was done a long time ago. Like whoever did this, maybe this was, we can't tell exactly when.
It's not from it.
Around 1888.
But not the late 1900s.
Exactly.
So-
So conversely, many experts consider both the diary and the watch to be a forgery. Handwriting comparisons, the handwriting comparisons
You
with
want to take another pass at that word?
comparisons. I'm just my eyes. Handwriting comparisons with other documents that they know he wrote. They said, I don't know if the handwriting matches, but again, we don't know if all those
Yeah,
letters.
he used a pen for the letters and a knife for the pocket watch, so it's not going to match.
It was like, did he even write the letters? Though?
Right.
Like the postcard. It's like that could have been a journalist, like we talked about earlier. So
Fancy writing.
TBD. But this guy, Michael Barrett, who introduced the diary, he initially signed an affidavit saying, no, this is legit. Then he signed a different affidavit because he was almost like overwhelmed by the publicity. And he said he forged it. But then he retracted it and said, no, I was just like under a lot of pressure because I didn't want to be like the guy who like discovered who Jack the Ripper was. And it was all too much attention.
Right.
I was freaking
like,
out, man.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. So the story has changed.
Pick a lane.
Right? And I was like, do it or don't. But this has then, of course, like raised questions about the provenance of both. So the diary's descriptions, they also sometimes replicate newspaper accounts, or they include errors that were initially reported in newspapers, but historical sources have corrected. So there was stuff
Well,
that like
police would put errors out in there purposefully,
they
wouldn't
would.
they? To see.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
right.
So this is maybe like indicating that whoever wrote the diary at whatever time they wrote it, they might have only had secondhand knowledge of the case. They
Right.
weren't like the one who did it. Because they're like, well, that wasn't quite what happened there. So again, forensically, they're like, we think this is pretty old, but then there's other forensics experts that say, no, this wasn't engraved in the 1880s. Maybrick lived in Liverpool. It was pretty far, like Adam was saying, last suspect from the Whitechapel area.
Liverpool's pretty far from London.
Yeah, a little bit. So he would have also needed time to travel
Yeah.
or have spent time in London during those murders. There's no reliable evidence that he was in London, but
Big trade route, though, between Liverpool and London.
Sure.
yeah, no evidence that he wasn't either.
Right.
So nothing one way or the other. But the diary also suggests jealousy over his wife. But this sort of like psychological motive is like an enraged jealousy. They say like this is plausible, but whether or not it aligns with the mutilations, like to the.
What kind of jealousy over his wife?
I think just the fact that like
Was she having affairs with the
She's
sex
sexually insane as well.
it doesn't
Right.
it doesn't specify. I don't have that
So weird.
in here.
She makes a better beef Wellington than I do.
Right.
That's what we should have had for 11sies is beef
Oh,
Wellington.
I'm sorry, I didn't have my filet mignon in here. I'll whack that out for next one, shall I?
Don't whack anything out on this pod.
But like our last suspect, again, he has some social standing. He was a merchant, and the clandestine nature of the attacks. It's like, you're less likely as a suspect. But again, he died shortly after the murders ended.
Right.
So his death is not a disqualifier. He was alive. And the fact that then his wife may or may not have killed him with poisoning because clearly all was not well. He's like, I'm jealous of her. He's writing in his little diary. And then she's like, yeah, I'm going to poison you.
Listen, it was the only way to get out of things.
He got to 50. That's longer than a lot of them.
True.
Sure did. Yeah.
He
Made it
didn't
to
get an
50.
infection or anything. So,
So yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right, Adam, who we got next?
Next, we have
Scrolling.
Joseph Barnett.
Okay. Joseph. Interesting one here.
Yes, I thought so too. Born in 1858 and raised in Four Harebrain Court. Great name. Less than a mile from the heart of Whitechapel.
Okay. Okay.
Old Joe's father was a fish porter, died in 1864, and his mother deserted the family soon after. As a result, the children were raised by his older brothers, Dennis and Daniel, as well as his sister, Catherine. All four of the Barnett brothers were fish porters by 1878, working in Billingsgate Market. Keep that context in your head.
'Kay.
Fish porters.
Important.
A lot of knives,
Lots of
very
knives and stuff.
precision.
Okay,
Yes,
stabby,
yes,
stabby.
yes, yes.
Pulling out the spines.
Now, Joseph met Mary Kelly on April 8th, 1887. Heather Graham
Right.
Yeah.
From the movie.
from the movie. I'm looking at you like, did I get my homework right here?
From Hell, the
From
movie.
Hell,
with
Johnny
Well,
Johnny
the movie with Johnny Depp.
And the
Heather
two decided soon after to room together at various locations for the next year and a half.
various locations.
Various locations. By the time of the Ripper murders,
corner.
they were they were lipping.
They were lipping on every corner.
They were, no,
Different? Something else. Something else.
Well, maybe they
accent,
were
then we're
doing
not
that too.
Jack the Lipper. But
Heavy sigh.
you brought us on.
We did, and we don't regret it.
You don't
Right,
regret
good,
it
good.
yet. No.
By the time of the Ripper murders, they were living in 13 Miller's Court. I've just smacked the microphone, haven't I? There we go.
Sorry, Dan.
Dan, how do I look? Am I good?
Good, you're fine. All
right.
Yeah, keep on going.
Lovely.
This is the. They were living in 13 Miller's Court
Okay.
in Dorset Street. This is the location where Kelly's mutilated body would be found on November
Right.
9th, 1888.
Okay.
He knew the joint. Now, in July 1888, Barnett lost his license as a fish porter for theft.
Oh, no.
Pissed off he is.
Yeah.
Proper
Mad.
pissed. Proper Marty. October 30th, 1888. That's a lot of eights. Barnett and Kelly have a quarrel at that house, 30 Miller's Court, during which a window is broken. Joseph leaves to take up lodgings in Bishopsgate. Not a bad area.
Okay.
It is alleged that the quarrel arose because Kelly was allowing a prostitute to share their lodgings.
Well, she's just trying to help out her.
Right, like we're over here having a bit of
somewhere.
fish. Yeah. Now, November 1st to the 8th, 1888, Barnett visits Kelly often, giving her money, seeming to be on good terms with her. This was the fellow that we talked about earlier. giving her
Right.
money.
That was given the money before she. Yeah.
No, on November 9th, that's one day later, Mary Kelly was found, the full flash murder.
Right.
The theory is that Joseph Barnett was growing tired of Mary Kelly prostituting herself to other men. He loved her and thought that he could support her himself through his own work, and she wouldn't have to resort to a life on the streets. But the loss of his job as a fish porter brought that dream to
Ruined
an
it.
Ruined it.
Right. It's like Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. if he had lost the job halfway through,
Right.
hotel bills not paid.
Right. She's not getting that $3,000
not getting that-
a week.
No.
No,
that's-
If Pretty Woman was a horror movie.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, also, Adam,
Yeah.
that was, I don't know if you came across this too, but there was speculation that he might have done some of the other murders to scare her out of.
This is what's going to happen if you don't knock it in. Yeah.
in an attempt to
there it
scare
is.
Kelly off the streets,
Nailed it.
Barnett raged through Whitechapel and murdered a handful of prostitutes in the autumn of 1808, is the theory.
Wow.
Okay.
His plot didn't succeed, tempers boiled, culminating in the final quarrel.
And he killed her.
And he theoretically here. Now, we've got a little bit of fancy FBI psychological profile, the modern one
Okay.
of Jack the Ripper
Okay.
versus Joseph Barnett.
Okay.
FBI, white male, aged 28 to 36, living or working in the Whitechapel area. Barnett, 30, white, lived in Whitechapel. In FBI, childhood, absent or passive father figure. Joseph's father died when he was 6.
Right.
Absent.
FBI, killer probably had a profession in which he could legally experience his destructive tendencies. Gutting the fish.
Fish quarter.
And boning. Very important with prostitutes.
That's for the prostitutes.
Different boning.
Type of boning.
Different
but
boning.
It's fine.
Jack the Ripper probably ceased his killing because he was either arrested for some other crime or felt himself close to being discovered as the killer. Barnett was interviewed for 4 hours after the Kelly murder.
Wow.
The police seemed satisfied with his testimony and didn't suspect him any
Interesting.
further.
And also, that was kind of like his end all.
Right.
Was her.
It was
yeah.
like Kemper killing
Yeah,
his mother. He was
exactly.
like, I'm done now. That was the way
Yes.
I wanted.
Yeah.
If we go with it, these were all the red herrings, because fish,
Right.
and then killing her.
You've solved it yet again.
Then the last FBI word, psychological profile, the killer probably had some sort of a physical defect, which was the source of a great deal of frustration or anger. Now, according to one contemporary news report, Barnett repeated the last words spoken to him with every sentence. It's an indication of a type of speech impediment
Yeah.
there. So he would finish,
interesting.
he would say the last word in his sentence.
Yeah. Interesting.
Might not.
Interesting.
A little bit odd there. So
Crazy.
There.
crazy.
Stab, stab.
That's all I got, teacher.
Joseph Barnett. I didn't
Stab.
know about the FBI profile. It's really
That's
interesting.
very interesting. Yeah.
That after the fact,
really
that, like,
fits that.
I'm assuming like John Douglas or somebody was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna take a stab.
Stab.
But yeah. We've got George Chapman here on the docket. He is someone who was a suspect at the time. George Chapman is no relation to Annie Chapman. Just clearing that up right away.
Thank
Just
you.
Different Chapman. We'll post photos of all of these suspects, all of these people. I would just say George Chapman. The mustache is a choice.
Is it?
It's so much mustache.
Excuse me while I Google.
just feel free to look while I'm talking.
Has he got the curlicula?
I love that your notes actually say in here, the mustache is a choice.
Oh, I mean, yes.
I love that.
He was a trained surgeon barber who lived and worked in Whitechapel in the period. What is a surgeon barber? Does anybody know?
It's a barber who can do surgery.
So
He cuts the hair before the surgery.
as I understand a surgeon barber, and I don't quote me on this, but it's surgeon barber or barber surgeons. This was one of those like. Between, we didn't have surgery the way we know it today, but not a doctor, but it's like, they didn't have like dermatologists.
Oh, wow, that's
So if you
not
had
what
like a
this is.
weird like
Right.
cyst on your leg,
Hey Siri, what was a barber
like
surgeon?
It was a
yes,
choice.
Mustache is a choice.
It's a
But like
choice.
they would do little surgery stuff, like
Little surgery.
like
on Dr.
Barber
Quinn.
surgeon in the Middle Ages, the name.
Oh, well.
Generally charged with caring for soldiers during and after battle.
sure. So like I'll
Okay.
stitch you up like wound care.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like what's the word? Nope.
No, it left you. I don't know. It was like the
Triage.
triage.
That's it.
Sure,
That's the word.
Absolutely. So not like a doctor for like your general health, but it was like I got the splinter that might ultimately kill me, and they're like, I will help you with that.
Yeah.
So knows a little bit
Health
about
services.
medical things.
Right.
Don't get
The
too
only way you're.
Bag of ice and a Tylenol.
Yeah, workers' comp. So.
Don't say title it.
don't get too excited though. He later poisoned 3 wives.
What?
Whoa.
And was hanged
Jesus Christ.
in 1903. So in Whitechapel in 1888, he was working as a barber, but working under the name Ludwig Schlossky. Ludwig. So it was like, why the alias?
Yeah.
Like, what you doing there?
Because he's killing 3 wives.
2 eyes.
The Inspector Aberline, remember him from earlier?
Yeah.
He told reporters in 1903, at the time of his when he was executed for these other crimes, he told the newspapers, he was like, "Oh yeah, I was pretty sure Chapman was Jack the Ripper." And they're like, "Wait, what? Like this was one of your prime suspects? Like why didn't you say anything?" So he was in the area. He was in the East End around 1888, likely near Whitechapel. He was, it was like, okay, you're working as a barber. You have like some surgical knowledge, like you like stabbery and knives. And you're living under an alias for questionable reasons.
Also, you have a questionable mustache.
And one would have to assume if his name was George Chapman, living in the East End. Ludwig Schlossky, he's got to put on an accent.
Probably.
Good actor.
Yeah. It's like you're masquerading as someone you're not. So he was geographically in the area. He was like living some sort of shady lifestyle. His confirmed murders, the 3 wives, I was like, say more about that. But they were all by slow poisoning.
Arsenic?
Which was they didn't say what it was, but
Probably.
it was very different from Jack the Ripper's like blitz attack and
yeah.
mutilation. So, and again, there's no direct tie to him to any particular scene. And like, it's odd that a serial killer would change their MO. It's not unheard of, but
Right.
that is a weird shift to go from something so aggressive to something so passive.
Plus, he had all that time to maintain the mustache. There was a lot of like maintaining.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Adam, I'm going to double up here for a second. I'm going to
I know.
jump right in with another quick one.
Okay.
So we have to talk about William Whitney Gull.
Oh, I thought it was someone else.
No,
We'll get to him
not
later.
yet, Jen. We'll get to him. I'm
I
saving.
can't wait.
So William Whitney Gull, this guy, Adam, is I will say the
So I'm reading my notes.
anti-hero / protagonist of From Hell.
Oh.
So based on the novel and spoiler alert, I haven't actually seen the movie From Hell.
What?
I know.
Now we're all
Neither
gonna
have I.
watch it.
It is historically accurate.
It is
Well,
so historically accurate.
I'm sure it's
It's like
excellent.
Braveheart.
But based on the film and the graphic novel, so the graphic novel came out in the 80s. This is a fun thing. I knew it was a novel. I didn't know it was a graphic novel.
No,
And
I didn't
I got
either.
it from Amazon, and I got it, and I was like, "This is a comic.
Why
book.
do I have a comic
It's
book?
huge. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's thick as hell." And I was like, "This
From
As
hell.
hell.
from hell."
And,
And I was like, "This can't be it." And then I like looked it up and I was like, "Oh no, this is a graphic novel. Like, this is the only format in which it exists." I was like, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
Opens with a hand job, weirdly, which I did not have on my bingo card.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
There's
And then she read the book.
there is a lot to this novel, but the novel is and the movie are widely understood to be highly fictionalized.
What?
So I know. So this is one of those.
Never.
You took characters and historic events and
Yeah.
kind of did a little mashup, but William Whitney Gull is in From Hell is considered to be like, this is him, it's Jack the Ripper, like he's the one. So he has become contemporarily a popular suspect because people, I guess, missed the asterisk that like From Hell, it's like, no, this
It's fiction.
this is
Right.
fictionalized. He was a guy in the area. He was a doctor. And he was an English physician. He had a lucrative practice. He ultimately became a pillar of society. He did a lot of.
That's it right there. Pillar of
He was
society.
played by Bilbo Baggins.
So he,
In the film.
That's right.
He did a lot for, I'll say, medicine of the day, but even giving us things like he was the first person to coin the term anorexia nervosa for
Really?
that
Oh.
illness. He also
Yikes.
like
Tell us more.
he was the first person who studied like eating disorders in women. And then he was like,
That's not what I thought it was. Never mind. Carry on.
It's where you don't eat.
Yep.
what
Yeah.
did you think it was?
Nope. Carry on.
Yeah, right. I'm confused.
Oh my.
I thought we were back to the room with the anyhow.
Different.
Oh, like the vibrator play?
Yes.
No, different.
No, different.
Anorexia is mostly women. Men can have it too, but mostly women who are just like, I don't eat because I want to control. It's usually about control. It's not about
Right.
how your body looks, but they want to control their body and they starve themselves often to death for looking a certain way.
Right.
So he was like the first person to study this and recognize this as a medical phenomenon, to coin
They
the term.
weren't doing it on purpose. They couldn't eat. They were
And they're broke.
They were
Can't afford a sandwich.
Right.
Yeah. Something's wrong here. Yeah, she's actively refusing
You have to
food.
pay someone to eat out.
He was also the first person to Adam.
You got further than I thought.
I was like, do I ignore it or do I just send help?
That was 3 seconds longer than I thought it was going to be.
He also advanced our medical understanding of Bright's disease, which is a kidney disease.
Kidneys?
Kidneys?
I know.
Oh.
She studies.
He's like studying
Yum, yum, yum.
kidneys. Then he also had done a lot of research on people who were paralyzed or like paraplegics specifically, and figuring out like neurology and like what we know about.
He knew how to cut a torso in half, and he didn't. So there you go.
Sure. He
That's the
had
smoking gun.
Yeah, he had a lot of medical knowledge, and he was one of these people who was sort of like, I don't know, there is nothing about him overtly that suggests like he was like nefarious, but it was like, you're a doctor in the area, and what if it was a prominent doctor who was like had a secret double life, murdering these women? There is From Hell, the novel, and also I'm sure the film, have a fascinating plot where basically he is just like this Frankenstein-esque like medical madman, and is also like morally he is on this crusade because he is like, I must cleanse the city of like the sex workers.
In the film, it's he's one of the doctors who invents lobotomies.
Oh,
That's
wonderful.
right.
Yes, sexually insane.
Yep.
Yeah. So the big reason that he's probably not Jack the Ripper is because he was 71 years old at the time of the
That makes
crimes.
sense.
And 71 in 1888 is like 101.
A million years old. So
Clean hands.
Yeah, that's true.
he's one of these people who it's like, yeah, you have been for various reasons, I'm sure, popularized in the fictionalized retellings of this story. In actuality, was just probably doing a lot for medicine and was
Yeah.
just being a septuagenarian at the time of these crimes. Probably not the guy, but his name comes up a lot, so I thought we should mention him. Adam,
Yes.
who's next?
Old Jimmy Kelly, James Kelly.
James.
Okay.
This one, born in Lancashire, Northern. We won't hold that against him. His mother died of tuberculosis, TB, shortly after his birth. His father was a house painter.
Oh.
Unable to care for him, so Kelly was raised in an orphanage and taken in by relatives later on. He reportedly, there's no specifics, showed signs of mental instability earlier on. Now, in not 1983, 1883,
right, the late
the
1800s.
late 1800s. Our podcast is sponsored by a therapy office. I was so used to going into a spiel about our sponsor at that point. That's what dropped me down there. I bet he wishes he went to Totally Psyched in Winter Garden. That's
We don't have any sponsors yet, so if anybody wants to,
Maybe after this.
You've got one for that. There you go. Yes, business brain came on.
Yeah.
Like, no, not
Different.
time for that.
Not doing that.
And now I feel like Wayne because I've lost my page. There we are.
Wonderful.
He in 1883 he married. He married Sarah Blinder. And in October 1883, just 4 months into the marriage, he slit Sarah's throat with a knife during a violent argument.
Oh, Jesus.
That'll put a strain on the marriage.
It will.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. She didn't say much after
See,
that.
you know what? He should have gone to therapy.
Should have gone to therapy.
You know.
At Winter Garden.
Yeah.
Did she survive?
Oh no,
Ear to
dead.
I was confused.
Ear to ear.
At the time, Wade,
can
this
live.
was pretty grievous.
Infection, if nothing else.
Right.
He was tried and convicted of murder.
Oh.
But his defense argued insanity, so he was committed to Broadmoor Criminal Lunatic
Sexual
Asylum.
insanity.
Now, put into the asylum, 1883. Looking at the time, that doesn't work on out.
No.
Probably not.
1888, January 23rd, Kelly escaped from Broadmoor
There it is.
using a makeshift key.
What?
Wait, he's insane, but he has the wherewithal to make it.
To make a
Yeah.
key?
That's right. He's
I love it.
MacGyver.
Soap.
That feels sophisticated.
It's,
Soap and lead.
Whittled it.
He disappeared into London just months before the Ripper murders began in Whitechapel.
Oh, man.
Investigators later noted that Kelly was skilled with a knife from his work as an upholsterer.
Oh.
He knows how to get into a seat.
Yeah, he does. Jesus.
Has violent tendencies against women and was at large in the very area. in the time frame of the killings. Now, after the Ripper murders ended, Kelly lived as a vagrant, often avoiding authorities. He makes it all the way through to the 19s. 1927, he voluntarily returned to Broadmoor after decades on the run, confessing to a life of wandering, but never directly admitting to the Ripper crimes.
Interesting.
It's probably old though. This is where like people
Yeah.
who have been like unhoused their whole lives
Yes.
will come forward when they're old.
Jail.
and They
Yep.
will like either
Yep.
commit a crime or confess to a crime because they're like, I'm old. I don't
3
have
meals a
health
day.
care. Yes.
He was 67 when he turned himself back.
there it
in.
is. Yeah.
3
it's like
meals a day, somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
the asylum is probably better than the street.
And then died 2 years later.
There it is.
Why is he suspected? Timing, the escape,
Yeah.
it's in right there. That violent history, mental instability, freedom of movement, lived as a drifter. No one's really locking him down to an address.
Right.
And in Broadmoor records from 1927, Kelly made vague statements about his hatred of prostitutes and his years on the run, fueling suspicions.
Why? They're just
the closest
trying
so
to
far.
sleep in a house.
Right?
God damn it.
He just wanted to make a leather couch and play with a poof.
Well, speaking of poofs, no. Speaking of disappearances.
Oh, man.
Jen,
Yes.
it's that time.
Oh, my God. I'm so
because
excited.
we now get to unpack the suspect that I did not have on my bingo card.
was not there.
But when I saw this name, I shrieked. Listeners, our next Jack the Ripper suspect
cannot
is
believe it.
none other than Sergeant Boston Corbett, who you may remember from the Wicked Stage podcast 2-part episode at the beginning of season 2 on John Wilkes Booth.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It is that Boston Corbett. He, just a quick recap about Boston Corbett
Yeah.
for maybe those who are uninitiated. He immigrated to the United States in 1840. He was a milliner and a literal Mad Hatter. A literal Mad Hatter and everything that goes along with that. He was later a soldier for the Union Army because the Civil War. They're like, we need everyone.
Oh, God, I just read ahead on your notes. I wish I hadn't done that. God,
Back up.
Don't read ahead.
I'm full in.
So Wayne, so they're like, it's the Civil War. We need every able-bodied person because war. So they're like, we don't care if you're insane. Get in here.
It's fine. Mercury poisoning, we don't care. Come here.
Can you handle a knife?
Now, by the 1850s, so before the Civil War, but he had become a religious zealot to the point where he castrated himself with a pair of scissors to eradicate sexy feelings.
If you would like the full story, go to our Patreon.
Go to our Patreon. There's
We have like a 20-minute episode.
Yes.
Boston
Wow.
Corbett.
There's so much more on this
I'm
man.
good.
He is in fucking insane.
So Boston
Wow.
Corbett,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, shot and killed John Wilkes Booth following the assassination of Abraham Lincoln against orders.
Yeah.
They were trying to take Booth alive, but obviously this guy is not terribly stable. So he actually shot Booth through the wall of the burning barn in Virginia. They were trying to smoke him out. And Corbett's like, and he's like, oh, I thought he was going to shoot me. It's like, why?
No.
You can't even see it. What are you
he
doing?
was like, oh, look, I see him in there. Pow.
So after this, after he kills John Wilkes Booth, he continues to struggle with mental illness. He has wild outbursts throughout his entire adult life. This guy is just like super unstable. So remember, he's originally from England. He disappears from the Topeka Asylum for the Insane in June of 1888, just before the Whitechapel murders begin.
convenient.
Yeah.
He was literally never seen again.
Yeah. He just,
Oh, that was it.
that's
Gone.
it. Gone.
Falls off the face of the earth. So he's not
Poof, gone.
Jack the Ripper, maybe, but I'm like, what a
Wow.
didn't have him on the bingo.
Oh, what a history that dude had.
Coming back around Boston
What?
Corbett, but he is listed as a suspect. I'll also say I'll put him in the same category as someone like, this is not in the notes, Adam, but someone like H.H. Holmes.
I was just going to wonder if we were going to get to H.H.
He's
Holmes.
not on
yeah.
the list, but H.H. Holmes and his murder castle also like someone who was like,
Fascinating.
you immigrated and you were here and you were there and you went back over there and you were sort of in the area, but weren't you? Totally different
Yeah.
MO. That is one of those like you're a character in who's captured the popular imagination. You're a character from the era.
Yeah.
You have some unaccounted whereabouts. Fundamentally, it's probably not you. Or it's like you've got a different thing going on. But hey,
But yeah, there's a glint.
we don't know.
We
that you're
don't
not.
know.
So Boston Corbett killed John Wilkes Booth may also be Jack the Ripper.
Who knows? Who's
Possible.
Could be able. Adam, who else have we got?
I don't know. Hang on.
We're getting close.
Oh, this is my last one.
okay. I'm ready.
This one. Jill the Ripper.
What?
Ripper.
It's taking a feminist turn.
Dun,
Oh my
dun,
God,
dun.
I've never heard this
We're
before.
so modern.
No, really.
Tell me.
The Jill the Ripper theory is one of the more colorful alternative suspects in the Jack the Ripper case. It suggests that the murderer may not have been a man at all, but a woman often imagined as a midwife or a nurse or someone with medical experience.
Doing those back alley abortions.
Right, yes, that's it.
Oh shit!
The apple cider, whatever it is.
Vinegar.
Yeah, so-
Different.
is that a different one?
Yeah, I think so. It's fine.
Oh no, cider house rules. That's where that went in my
Apple cider
apple
vinegar.
cider
A
vinegar.
wellness influencer. What are you talking about?
It's that one with Michael Caine.
Yes, it is.
all right.
It is
that's-
indeed.
that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Yeah. The concept first gained traction from when we're from, the late 19th century.
That's it.
When some investigators and journalists speculated that the killer could be female. Inspector Aberline of Scotland Yard actually entertained the possibility, although there's debate on how seriously he considered it. Later authors and theorists pointed out how a woman could more easily avoid suspicion.
Sure.
Especially in that time, you throw a penny, you'll touch a woman.
Right, 62 brothels.
right.
Which one do you want?
Now, why am I?
Words.
I'm so glad we're recording our episode.
Oh, wait.
It's going well.
Why a midwife? Blood-stained clothing. Midwife.
Yeah,
Let's not go into detail there, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Knowledge of anatomy.
They know where those uterus
They know where those
are.
bits and
Shoot
pieces
it
are.
awry.
And access to victims.
Yeah.
Women trusted midwives. They're allowed to go in and say, "Show us your fanny."
Different fanning.
Yeah. Now, supporting arguments, witness descriptions. While most eyewitnesses described a man, some statements were vague, leaving room for speculation. Disguise factor. If the killer was a woman, police and public fixated on looking for a man, overlook it.
Right. Sure.
And societal, social invisibility. Not, you're a lady.
Right.
You're not someone who
Blends
will
right in.
do
You
that.
would never do that.
So you wouldn't be looked at as being the violent one.
Right.
Yeah.
They're looking
You're
for
just blending in like there's a regular tart over there.
Yeah, they're
Now-
looking for a literal monster.
Yeah, they're looking for someone who's a
Instead of a midwife.
chi eyeball.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the big thing is there's no suspects for this one. No specific woman was ever seriously investigated.
Just a what
This
if.
is a theoretical.
in
But a
general.
good theory.
Yeah, good theory.
Good.
I will say, and this is neither here nor there, but I have to say this because this just happened to me. Anecdotally, there's a lot of conversation about whether it's a Jill the Ripper or whether it's just like anyone else, like Ahmad, and they're like, we didn't see anyone covered in blood, like fleeing from the area. Wouldn't you have noticed? I would like to say Jen did a great job of specifying how just like sort of like dark and close and
Dark and gloomy and foggy.
the area was. But I will say this just happened to me. I was at dinner recently at a rather nice and well lit restaurant with some people.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And one of my dining companions, just through accident and clumsiness, this happens, literally spilled an entire glass of wine on themselves, red wine,
Red themselves or you?
on themselves.
Okay, that's fine.
So it, like literally just like flung the entire glass of red wine onto their person.
You know?
So they're wearing light colored clothing.
Oh,
So
yep, always.
they look like it's like a crime scene.
Yeah.
And this like me, it's like it makes a clatter, it makes a noise. Not a single person is like what? The server does not even notice that this has happened. I'm like, this person is covered in
Get them
red
some
wine.
club
Like, get them-
soda.
anyway,
Right.
The server
Grab a
doesn't
napkin,
notice.
please.
The server like comes over and refills waters and like we're like, hey,
But not the bloody wine.
it's all over the tablecloth. There was like a white tablecloth. This is covered in wine. It was like, is no one going to acknowledge that this has just happened? So the person's like, oh my God, like, how am I going to get up and leave here? I'm like a crime scene. And I was like, honestly, I don't think anyone's even going to
Yeah,
notice.
not a problem. Just
Central Florida.
They got up and walked out of this restaurant covered in red. No one even like batted an eye. Like,
Wow.
no one looked. So this whole like, oh, wouldn't we notice this person covered in blood? I'm like, I don't know. I was just in a restaurant.
Not in Whitechapel in 1888, apparently.
If no one is carrying in
Wow.
Orlando, Florida, that you're like walking out, like literally just like doused yourself, I was like, I don't know.
Well, you know.
Well, we have come to, I believe, the last suspect and maybe the one that I have seen the most on social media. We have come.
Johnny Depp.
No. We have come to Aaron Kosminski.
Okay.
Kosminski with 2 eyes.
Aaron Kosminski. Yes, Wayne, 2 eyes.
Much like syphilis.
Much like syphilis.
Yep.
Despite whatever you've heard.
Red eyes? What?
Aaron Kosminski. This has, I will say, this has cropped up for various reasons that we're going to get into. But I literally saw this week on social media. And 2 friends who I had talked about that we were going to do this, but sent me this article. I'm like, oh my God, are you going to unpack this on your recording? Because I think it got solved. And I'm like, slow your roll. Slow your roll. So Aaron Kosminski was a Polish Jew,
Ba-bam.
admitted to the Cluny Hatch Lunatic Asylum
George Clooney did it.
in 1891. So shortly after the Whitechapel murders, he's driven to madness. He was living in the East End during the entire crime spree. There are no firm alibis that say whether or not like you're definitely at the scene of the crime or you're definitely not at the scene of the crime. There was also no survivable, testable, contemporaneous evidence directly linking him to the scene. However, this is what we're going to get into.
Right.
Modern DNA on a shawl that was found allegedly near one of the victims claims to have tied him to being Jack the Ripper. They're like, oh my God, we found the shawl. His DNA is on it. The victim's DNA is on it. This is it. This proves it. Here's the smoking gun.
Yeah.
He is Jack the Ripper. They've gone. We're going to get into this.
Yeah.
So this guy named Russell Edwards bought a shawl in 2007. So this is like recent. He believed, based on just people told him, they were like, oh yeah, that this shawl was found at the site of the Catherine Eddowes murder. So this was the one on the 30th of September.
Okay.
The story went that a police officer, and this was passed down in his family, is Amos Simpson, who they were like, yeah, this guy was real. He was really a police officer. He was really in the area. Retrieved the shawl from the body or from maybe nearby the body. It's a little muddy.
In
maybe.
the area.
Right.
Because contemporary reports from the day, there was nothing about a shawl was found or that she was wearing a shawl
Right.
or that her shawl was lost or anything.
And I
about-
did a little research about sex workers and what they wore.
Sure.
They didn't wear shawls.
No.
Well, yeah, they were sex workers.
Right.
They weren't wearing anything.
They were right. They wore very little.
It's another accessory to keep track of, too.
Correct. Anyway.
Yeah.
Although it was cold, I'm sure.
Sure. So all this to say, allegedly, this police officer retrieved the shawl from somewhere in the scene and just for reasons unknown hung on to it.
Kept
because
it?
why would you do that? I don't know. It's weird.
Gift for the missus?
Yeah, right. They didn't have evidence back then. Evidence lockers.
We have pictures. We have pictures of this shawl. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's nice. Like I was like, oh, that looks nice. But he like kept it and passed it down within his family,
generation to
So right
in the will, like this shawl
Stay
goes-
in the family.
Yeah,
That's very odd.
Yeah. So in or around 2014, Russell Edwards he commissioned this doctor to do genetic testing on the shawl, and the claims were that they had detected mitochondrial DNA in bloodstained areas that match maternal line descendants of Catherine Eddowes. So basically saying, okay, we have the shawl,
Yeah.
victim of Jack the Ripper, whoever that might have been, Catherine Eddowes' blood is on this shawl,
Right.
based on the maternal line.
Right.
They also allegedly found same type of mitochondrial DNA from alleged semen-stained areas that match the maternal descendants of Aaron Kosminski.
Okay.
So they're like, we've got her blood, we've got his semen, they're both on the shawl. Oh my God, this is it.
Okay.
So based on this limited DNA, they also apparently like deduced like, oh, we can determine like the hair color and eye color and skin type of like the person whose DNA this would have been. And this matched eyewitness descriptions, which are frankly flimsy. Like we saw a white man. It was like,
Yeah, white man with a mustache.
okay, that's literally
None of those in London around that time.
No,
every other man.
I know.
But like, okay, sure. So the initial claim was that this was a really high match, as in 99.2%.
Oh, wow.
They're like, this is them. This is
it.
both of their families. It's on the shawl. We got them. So there were all these sensational headlines, but experts have raised doubts. So the provenance of the shawl, first of all, provenance from our Oma episode about the Grift of de Graft. Provenance, chain of custody. It is not proven that the shawl was found at the crime scene. It's just not. Like there's
It's just a shawl that's been passed down from generation to
where
generation.
did you get this? Also, like
Right.
you didn't keep it in like a special thingy. Like
They didn't put it in a plastic bag?
No,
back
they kind of had it. So this Amos Simpson story, it is actually based on, again, family tradition that like, oh, we had this police officer and he found the shawl. There are no police reports. There's no inquest records that a shawl was even found, let alone that this guy picked it up or it was anything. It was just one of those like, in our family, we like to say that old, Uncle Aaron. So to Jen's point, the police inventory of Eddowes' clothing when she was discovered and her other personal effects, because they did document like she had a hat. This was what was in her pockets. Like it was detailed. They do not list a shawl as being part of that. There is confusion about whether or not the shawl was, again, maybe even hers because the chain of custody is super weak. It's undocumented. Also, again, a lot of people have touched this at this point.
Yeah.
So the DNA evidence is this, again, it's mitochondrial DNA. It is inherited maternally, but it does not uniquely identify a person at this level. So hundreds or thousands of people might actually share the same type of DNA.
Right.
And it can be useful to exclude suspects, but it's harder to pinpoint one particular person. Again, it was like, these, Eddowes' descendants or some of these people, I guess, were also like in the same room as the shawl and handled the shawl themselves.
so there's your-
So they're like, is there touch DNA,
Right.
on this shawl? It's also not precisely clear, again, how the DNA samples got there, whether they were contaminated later. There's also criticism of the rarity of some of the sequences because there was one variant that was found as part of this DNA sequencing. To get super technical, like it has a name, it doesn't matter. But there was later they realized that they made an error, like a typographical error on one of like the reports of the documentation. So it was 314.1C. Is actually a very rare variant. So they were like, oh my God, they have this super rare variant. It has to be them.
Right.
They realized they made a typo and it's 315.1C, which appears in 99% of European samples.
Well, there you go.
Excellent.
So
We all have it.
we thought this was a rare match and we found like this one genetic marker that was like, only they could possibly have it. It's the same. They're like, all the white people have this.
That's why 23andMe went bankrupt. They thought they had figured out Jack the Ripper, and
This is it.
There you go.
So close. So some people argue that Aaron Kosminski, that he might have been like psychotic or like catatonic at the time, that he was later institutionalized. And these are just like, again, if you want to tie him to this. But again, it's like, this might not actually be the active behavior you would need, talking about like the FBI profile.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if he's out of his mind and then the next minute he's just sort of like staring into space and drooling, he's maybe not organized enough to Jack the Ripper, even with your like DNA match. It's like, this doesn't seem like your guy.
Now, come again.
Scattered.
Where did his DNA come from?
So they said it was semen, but then, and I didn't mention this just now, but then they were like, well, we're actually testing the material that we thought was semen, and it's actually not semen, and we don't know what the source of his DNA is. But it's so DNA can basically liquids DNA can come from, and again, scary things that I just know: urine, blood, semen, saliva. So it's one of these probably.
We're back to the Disney College program.
So it's like there's only,
syphilis has two
He
eyes.
is Jack the Ripper.
there's only so many fluids, but initially it was like all the headlines were like,
So little time.
still time. Like, we found the semen, and they're like, oh, actually, this isn't semen. We don't know what it is.
It's not blood, so it's saliva or it's.
And it's like, what was it? And at this point, it's all like, it's too degraded. You look at the pictures of the shawl too. It's like a floral print. I'm like, when you imagine something that's blood stained, it's like blood stained. I can't see
Any
stains
blood.
on the shawl.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing visible to the naked eye. I'm like, I don't know. This could all be touch DNA. Like this is it's very fishy. So in summary, if the shawl is really Eddowes, if the stains are original, like not contaminated, not touch DNA, if the DNA sequences are accurate, and if the matching mitochondrial DNA is really that rare, then yes, this would add weight to Kosminski potentially being Jack the Ripper.
Should.
But there are so many preconditions, like, the provenance, the contamination, the data discrepancy, statistical uniqueness, the fact that like half these people who were also doing the testing, it was like, they were just like, well, it's a match. And it's like, can we see your reports? And they're like, well, no, we're going to keep that to ourselves.
No,
like,
it's a match.
so can you just show us? And they're like, no, but it's a match.
Just believe us.
But they really just wanted this to be the smoking gun, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
most forensic historians, again, do remain skeptical. The evidence is suggestive. It is not definitive, no matter what Instagram tells you.
Don't listen to social media.
Don't listen to social media.
Do your own research.
So,
However, follow us on social media.
Yes.
Fishandbrits.com.
Wicked Stage Pod on all the places.
On all the places.
We do. I'll just throw in here at the conclusion of our suspect section because we're almost done. But other suspects that also got included in the From Hell novel. I don't know if this made it to the movie, but Prince Albert Victor was.
I
considered-
wondered if he was ever considered.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But he had an alibi, so he was.
Yeah, look into him. He's a wild guy. Also a mustache that was a choice.
You know?
Yeah, some dead eyes too on him. But he famously in the From Hell novel, in the graphic novel, he has allegedly a bastard child with one of the women who is
Yes.
later killed, and it's all a cover up.
In the film, she's the one who gets lobotomied.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Wonderful.
spoilers alert.
Yes, yes.
None of us have seen this film.
No, as well. And
I have.
You have.
Now Jen has. Okay. And also Alice in Wonderland author Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll. Yeah.
was also a Jack the Ripper suspect.
He's the Orson Welles of this, I feel,
Sure
right?
is. Yeah,
I just saw that says Adam next to that. I did not research
fine.
that.
No, it's okay.
I didn't see that.
Lewis Carroll did nothing wrong. He was just kind of a jerk, and he was like around.
Yeah.
So they're like maybe
And
Lewis-
famous.
Let's get him out of here. It's Jack the
Lewis
Ripper.
Carroll.
Had enough of him.
We've had enough.
And then thirdly,
Jabberwocky.
there was an artist who I seem to have deleted his name. There was an artist, Whitney, I think was the last name. I don't know, a famous artist of the day who I guess I heard. I was just reading about this. He did a bunch of paintings. And
Oh, yes, I did see something about that guy. Yeah,
yes, but he had a painting famously called like Jack the Ripper's bedroom.
yes.
But it's the same room as the crime scene photo.
Allegedly, yeah. The
Yeah, it's pretty
layout
close
of
to
the
it.
room is similar. I'm like, it's a tiny room with like a bed and a fireplace.
Right.
Like how many?
lady
Everybody's
on the
room
bed.
looks like
Yeah, I
that.
was like,
Pretty
this
close.
is all the rooms. Yeah.
Which was the only crime scene photo out of all.
Yes. Yes.
dude.
Yeah, you're
That was
correct.
pretty
Way.
neat.
Yeah. So they're like, this guy did a creepy painting once. He must be Jack the Ripper. And I'm like, could Tim Burton have been a Jack the Ripper? They're like,
Yes.
Yes.
He would have been.
creepy content.
Yeah.
He's Jack the Ripper.
Claymation, you're the murderer.
That's it.
So let's wrap it up here with some speculation. So I will ask the Fish and Brits podcast: Are the English, are the British as obsessed with Jack the Ripper as we still are?
As we are?
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah, there's tons of tours and like that's a big
that's the
deal
thing.
in
It's
that
big
town.
business in London.
Big
There was
business, big tours.
one that I went to a sit down haunt back before I moved over here called Passage del Terror, and that one is introduced by a 3D video of Jack the Ripper.
Oh, cool.
It was like that's the one that was Terror on Church Street here in Orlando,
yeah?
and moved over to London. Yes, yeah.
I'm so
90s.
bummed that I missed that.
Yeah.
It was so good.
But
It
that
was so
to
good.
put it in a London bent,
Yeah.
they put Jack the Ripper around.
right on.
Excellent.
And yeah, their London dungeons is all Jack the Ripper, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think Americans are equally as, if not more, fascinated with it in the same sort of way that you're really like Guy Fawkes.
Sure.
We'll get on that without
Yeah.
November the 5th episode, but I'm like, that seems to be bigger here than it was in England. I'm like, what are y'all worried about? But
Why are you obsessed with that so much?
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have follow-up questions to that, but I think it's better story-wise if I wait.
Oh no, it's all right. So just a question for the group, for all of us. Do we think Jack the Ripper, aka the real killer, wrote all three of the letters we heard Wayne read?
I don't know if you wrote all three of them.
Yeah.
I think in our discussion here, I really was drawn to the last one.
Yeah. I agree.
More out of all of them.
From hell?
Yeah, for the From Hell letter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a tough one because the first one was kind of like, well, he gave you a clue of what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Then that did happen.
Right.
But not really the way he said it was. I don't know. It's
The ears thing. Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
the
"We
ears, and
never
then
did
cut your ears off.
Yeah.
He did cut one of the ears.
Right.
It was so intelligent.
Too well written. maybe?
Right. Was
Yeah,
it? So
yeah.
was it a journal?
And like that much writing was the other ones were like, oh, I think
Yeah.
that's the word.
Yeah.
I feel
Full
like
stop, comma.
I feel like the From Hell one is purposefully written
Oh,
in a
staged.
It's staged, yes.
Uh-huh. I'm going to make it much like we've seen other serial killers or like the Zodiac. It's
Yeah.
like I will purposefully misspell
Yeah.
or
Right.
things. But I was listening to a thing on the Zodiac. They said he'll misspell basic words that make him seem uneducated, but then he also knows the proper use of shall versus will.
Right.
So like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or the Jean Benet Ramsey case. Like they put the accent over attaché, like
Yeah.
in the right place.
These are Ashley's Roman empires. The Zodiac,
Zodiac
and
Jean
Jean
Benet.
Benet.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's another episode for
Yeah.
today. Jem, what do you think about the letters?
The letters, the last one for sure, I really think is
From Hell.
is him. Yeah, but I don't know if it's purposely unintelligent.
Yeah.
or maybe he's truly just from the East End.
Yeah.
and not.
What
I
are you
don't-
trying to say, love?
I'm trying to say that. I know.
What do you mean I can't write a letter? I can write a letter.
As soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew what it sounded like. But at that time,
Right.
Yeah.
and who was inhabiting that area, or was it somebody that was an immigrant that didn't have a great grasp of English yet?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, because a lot of those words are spelled phonetically as struggled through. So
Yeah.
what is that word? Or that's the spelling from the letter. I'm sorry. I think, just to play devil's advocate and argue the other way, I think maybe the first two,
Oh.
the Saucy Jackie and the Dear Boss letter, might have actually been from the real killer. And I was listening to this other podcast and they were saying, oh, those are not written by him because they're too much fun. And he's having like fun toying with the investigation. And I'm like, well, based on what we know about a lot of contemporary like
That's
murders, and
exactly
people,
what they do.
That's what they do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they insert themselves into the investigation, and they're taunting like the Zodiac or like all these other people that we've talked about in BTK.
Yes.
I was like, no, that feels exactly on brand
because they want to be found.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yes. So I'm like, I don't know. So maybe the From Hell letter to me then is possibly the outlier because just tonally,
Yeah.
it's not fun. It's not
Because
like,
they're so different.
right. One is literally like LOL. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, with the ha ha ha.
Yeah. And then the other one's just like From Hell.
Yeah.
God, it's like you're having an off
Took
day.
a turn.
Yeah.
I remember being so excited when the shawl thing happened. And I saw the headlines and they were like, we found him. And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
We did. And then I read it.
I
was
watched
like,
the thing
we
yesterday
didn't.
about it, and I was like,
Yeah,
see what
I
you're
know. I was like, oh, damn it.
Here's the question. Do you want him to be found?
I don't.
at this point, no. Leaving the mystery. Otherwise, we're not going to talk about
Because you
it.
find,
right, we
you
talk
find
about
out
it
who
all
it
the
is.
time.
None of this happens.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true.
I think at this point, I don't know if it's so much like want versus based on we know way too much. And we were even talking about this with the Black Dahlia,
Yeah.
which was still like what 90 years ago.
That was
now
1946.
Okay, so
45, yeah.
80 years ago. So there are people alive today who were around when that crime happened. We can't even solve crimes from that recently because like forensic stuff as we know today, it's like all these people are dead.
And corruption.
We don't have it's like we don't have good records, we don't have eyewitness accounts, we don't have forensics, like we don't have anything. So I think this is one of those cases. It's less about like, oh, do we want it solved? It's like I don't think you can responsibly solve something from before like what, like 1960 maybe?
Yeah.
Like
But now, much like the Black Dahlia, if we have a theory about Postman Pat and Voldemort, should we write a book?
anyone can write a book.
Anyone can write a book about a theory.
So many books. I think what was our favorite from Black Dahlia was
Daddy is
Daddy.
the Black Dahlia killer.
Daddy is the Black Dahlia.
Oh, Daddy.
That's the name of it.
Daddy is Jack the Ripper. Do we need a
I
sequel?
think that we need Daddy was Jack the Ripper. Yeah. Well, Granddaddy.
So speaking of absolutely nothing. There's no segue.
No
there.
segue there?
I had
Speaking
one
of
and then
segues.
it vanished. I will say, what do we think collectively? What was the motive for this? Like, what was the impetus? Because again, some of the even the letters, the ones that we think are confirmed or not, there's no like why, like why for why would you?
just something to do, like a random, like we kind of said that there's no, like, he wasn't really stalking, like,
Yeah.
stalking Adam, he's my victim. It was just like, I don't know.
Pubs are closed, might as well.
Yeah. Pubs are closed, yeah.
If the pubs had been open 24 hours,
We'd
none
have been
of this
fine.
would have happened.
See, I buy the you said John Bonet now. That's the name that's in my head.
Yeah.
His name, is it John Bennett?
Oh,
John Bennett is John Bennett's
Joseph Barnett.
father.
Beg pardon.
Barnett. Yeah.
I buy fish porterman. And the
With the
reasoning
Kelly,
there,
right?
yes.
Okay,
Kelly.
so that's actually getting into our next section, but who you think it was. But you think it was the I am jealous, this is an interpersonal conflict, and I will use these other people basically as like scapegoats to just I'll
Well,
kill them.
I think it was the boyfriend with the bedroom with the fish knife.
All right. All right.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
because it's stabbing is so personal, and it was violent.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen as often
No.
if it isn't personal.
And he took extra care on that one because that was his main target.
Yeah. And then it stopped.
Yeah.
And he also knew, like, I know you personally, so I know where you live, that I can.
And it was in
Oh,
the
you were
only
playing.
one.
You were saying him. I thought I was
you.
worried. I was.
Wow. I mean, I do know where you live.
know
Like,
where I
I think
live,
I have
but-
your mailing address, but
Yes.
that's not.
But you're right. It was the only one that was in a house. And it took the time to truly dissect her in a horrible way.
Yeah, there is something to Jen, to the mutilation slash like dissection, that too also feels like very personalized, but that seems to go beyond just like, the throat slashing or the stabbing, but it's like something more is happening here psychologically, and I think it is to literally obliterate these women, and to like specifically it's like you're not mutilating like, I don't know, like their arm, it's like the part of you
Their
that is
reproductive,
like,
that is a woman.
yeah, that to me
And
feels
the face, attacking the face too. Is,
yeah, it's like this feels like a hatred of women. It's like, not to be cliche, but my God, like here we are. Like
Here we are again.
It was like a man who didn't like women and was just like, like I don't know if there's but I do think it was
That would never happen.
No, it never happens.
no, but I think though someone who is maybe not completely like off their rocker and just like going around, because like they would have been caught, they just would have, but it's like you're organized enough to be like in and out of the shadows and to be like smart about it, whether you did the 5 or whether you did more. I think the motivation was like, to some degree you feel justified maybe in what you're doing, because like you hate women and you seem to hate like sex workers.
Sex workers in particular, obviously.
Yeah. So something here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's opportunistic because there were so many of them in
Right.
Whitechapel that organized enough to like go into the shadows, but it didn't have to be a specific one, maybe until the end.
Maybe until the end. Yeah. So Adam thinks it's Barnett.
Yep.
Wayne, who do you think?
Not a clue. Although I would go with Adam on this one now that, because the fillet and the fish and the because that last picture, the crime scene photo, when I saw it in color, I was like, oh man, because you see how like the thighs, and the men, I mean, it was, and then the cut of the face, that taking the eyebrows off, and it was very specific, and I think I'd lean towards the fisherman again.
Yeah.
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 Because I didn't buy the guy with the scarf. I didn't buy that whole thing. I watched the thing yesterday, and as it was going, I was like, yeah, I'm not buying that now. So that milk was spoiled for me yesterday watching that video. But
And this is why I don't research.
yeah.
All in the moment. All in the moment.
Although I did see some cool shows on it though.
Yeah.
Hey, there you
Yeah,
go.
there was a good one where they had a digital table. And they had the image of a lady on there, and the guy's like drawing. This is what the line was, and this is what it was. And then you could break down, so they picked the head up, and then they spun it around, so you could see how deep the cut actually went.
Oh, that's quite
Because
cool.
it actually cut all the way through the spine.
She was
It
almost
cut-
decapitated.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
That spine got in the way.
Well, and that's the last one, right? That's
Yeah.
Kelly. So that's pure hatred. I mean, you get all
And that was a British show, so yeah, they're still talking about it because that was a newer show that was on
Yeah.
about the whole thing. So
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I mean, other than obviously Boston Corbett disappearing and reappearing as Jack the Ripper and then disappearing once again.
Screaming.
I too, after hearing all of those, like I said, the one about the shawl I was so excited about when it first came out. So like,
ready.
we figured it out.
Yep.
No. And I did a little research when I was doing the stuff about the historical context and the anti-Semitism and all of that, because that could have played in with the shawl. But it just feels so filled with hate
Yeah.
and anger and personal.
Yeah.
Even though they were opportunistic, it feels personal. Do you know what I mean?
But then, like, you knew the neighborhood. So
You
maybe
knew the neighborhood.
you at least had seen them around. You knew where they'd be, probably.
And
Yeah.
the only one that the time was taken to really mutilate was in a house.
Yeah.
And he knew where that house was.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you too, Jen.
Yeah.
Aside from
From Boston
from
Corbett.
Boston Corbett.
The Mad Hatter. That's really who we think did it.
Are we
Tea?
are we writing this Fringe show now, Jen?
Maybe add it to the list.
It's an Abraham Lincoln / Jack the Ripper
Crossover.
that
Yeah.
no one
They
asked for.
did both
Abraham
wear.
Ripper.
They wore top
There you go.
hats.
They, yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Mustaches,
Mustaches.
abound.
There were
Abe didn't have a
theaters in
mustache.
London, you know.
Yeah. Maybe it was. There we go.
Yeah, other than him, I am also of the suspects with
Yeah.
impact. I am on board with Barnett as well for all the reasons
Yeah.
Jen just mentioned. I do think though
It's a bit fishy.
I do think though broadly, just kind of like wrapping it up, I do think broadly this case is super interesting because these are only the ones that we unpacked, and I think I tried to choose the ones for us to discuss that were maybe have like the most meat
Yeah.
on the bone. But there are
Too soon.
Well,
Too
we-
soon. Selena, too soon.
sorry that we're the most fruitful. So if you just even like Wikipedia this, which is not like an amazing
my
resource,
God.
but like the number of suspects, you're like, God, like you're just scrolling. It's like, and then we had this guy, and then we had this guy. It's just like any man like in the area at all, whoever like looked weird.
We're not in the area. H.H. Holmes. You know?
So many suspects. And
Yeah.
also it reminds me, I hate to keep bringing up Jean Bonnet, but it's like everyone and no one is a suspect because this is unsolved and there is so much just like we just don't know. So
And like John Bonet, how close to home is it?
how close to home is it? Yeah, because it's like it leaves the door open for personal. It leaves the door open for stranger. It leaves the door open for like a predator in the area. Like there's, it can go in any direction and it remains unsolved. I
Yeah.
think because of that, like passage of time. But also it's like, it's everyone and no one. It's like Occam's razor. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Everyone
Like,
and
there's-
no one, because it was sex workers who no one cared about. The police were terrified to go into Whitechapel. It's dark and scary and foggy. Please no.
Please no.
And
can't even do anything.
Here we are, still talking about it today.
I still think it was Postman Pat.
And Voldemort.
And Voldemort.
Yeah.
The Dark Lord. Amazing. Well, thank you for
Oh my gosh, thank you guys. This
Thank
was so
you for
much
having
fun.
us.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much.
For purposes of our listeners, where can the Floozies find the Fish
Yeah.
and Brits podcast? Where,
Where can
We
the
are
Floozies
currently-
find the lads?
We're currently in season 3. We record about 10 minutes actually. Yeah,
He's gonna finish that bottle of Frankenstein wine.
and you can catch us at fishandbrits.com. Where do we get everything, Wayne?
Everywhere you get your podcast, baby, Spotify, Apple,
All
you
of
name
us.
it. We're on everything. So
Fish and Brits, check us out.
Yes.
fishandbrits.com. It'll send you the links to everywhere.
Yep.
Love it.
Where can we find you guys?
you can all the same places. We're also
Yeah.
on the Apple Podcast, the Spotify, pretty much anywhere you get the podcast. Our primary social platform of choice is Instagram,
Yes.
but we do have a Blue Sky and a Facebook that we populate a little bit less because our people don't seem to be looking over there.
Correct.
But photos and videos and things on the gram. We also have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon for things like the 20-minute episode on the Mad Hatter Boston
Corbett. The Patreon, as we like to say, it is, I think there's a $5 tier. And
Yeah.
you can get 4 Haas avocados or 3 Haas Floozies. So
Right.
Yeah.
worth looking into.
Yeah.
If you can spring for the $5 month for our Patreon.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for
And-
having us for our very
Thank you.
And YouTube for all of us, right?
YouTube, all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, YouTube. YouTube.
Can see the
new,
videos.
new Fandangle.
Yes.
All the kids are doing it, so we jumped on board.
Yeah, us from the late 1900s
Yes.
jumping on board.
The late 1900s.
And with that, thank you very
There you
much.
go.
Cheers.
Finish that bottle, baby.
Cheers. It's our very first, very special Halloween episode.
I'm so excited. Cheers.
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 Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And scene.
That's how we close.